free book. The number to call is 1-800-971-2937. And look, you have absolutely nothing to lose here because you get to try CalMax absolutely risk-free. The number to call is 1-800-971-2937. I'll give it to you one more time. It's 1-800-971-2937. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Please join us again next week for another edition of Discoveries in Health. Until then, I'm Chris McKay, wishing good health to you and your family.
The preceding was paid for by Two Lights Media. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 70 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 7:02. I'm Rob Taylor. One man is dead, two others in a hospital after a shooting in Somerset County. That shooting happened early Saturday morning around 1 o'clock on Crestview Drive in Somerset Township. For a reported domestic disturbance, police say a 23-year-old man shot two people, a 24-year-old man and 24-year-old woman, before the 23-year-old shot and killed himself, apparently. He died at the scene. The other two who were shot were transported to the hospital. No word on their conditions. Police believe the 23-year-old male who died was the ex-boyfriend of the 24-year-old woman. That shooting incident is under investigation. Well, a confrontation over fireworks led to a man being shot in Beaver Falls. Police say a 47-year-old man confronted a 20-year-old man after the 20-year-old allegedly threw fireworks in the direction of children Friday night on 12th Street. That 20-year-old man, identified as Jaden Stoll of Beaver Falls, then allegedly shot the 47-year-old before he was tackled by the victim. 47-year-old man was transported to the hospital in stable condition. Meanwhile, Stoll is facing charges including aggravated assault, recklessly endangering another person, as well as a firearm violation. KDK Radio News Time is now 7:03. The Accu of the forecast coming up.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
You're at the pharmacy counter. You plan to head for vacation, but insurance says it's too soon to refill. The copay's higher than last time, again. And now they need a prior authorization, so you wait and wait for something you needed today. At Blueberry Pharmacy, we cut all that out. No insurance games, no delays, just upfront pricing, fast delivery to Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Florida, and real people who actually help, like me. Call or text 412-612-2279 or visit blueberrypharmacy.com and breathe easy again.
Folds of Honor has been meeting Sacrifice with Hope since 2019 in Western Pennsylvania. It's their honor to empower people through education and the opportunities it creates. 41% of Folds of Honor scholarships are awarded to minorities, making recipient families as diverse as the country we call home. Folds of Honor has earned the Gold Star Platinum Seal as well as a 4 out of 4 stars ranking on Charity Navigator. You can become a Folds of Honor wingman today at westernpa.foldsofhonor.org. Please donate today. Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville is a proud supporter of Folds of Honor.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up, and support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are.
If you're at school having a bad day, you just don't want to do anything.
I just get these thoughts like, do better. All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed?
He's just in tears in the huddle. I was like, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm just so frustrated, and I didn't know what to do.
None of my undergraduate studies talked about mental health.
Teachers need tons of help.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a hot, humid, and sunny end to the long holiday weekend with a high of 92, then clear much of the time tonight with a low of 70. Sun gives way to clouds tomorrow with afternoon showers and a thunderstorm, high 89. With sun and clouds for Tuesday, another thunder shower for some and a high of 84. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get greened. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Yes, he is. Doug Oster, DougOster.com. Gardening questions welcome. We got Luke coming up, as in Davy Tree, Talking Tree, moments away. But if you're the 10th caller right now at 412-922-1020, you're going to win an amazing, incredible $25 gift certificate from the Sorgels out there in Wexford, 412-922-1020. Doug, good morning, and it's time to talk gardening.
Good morning. Yes, I got a text this morning from my friend Paul Danik, who said a farmer friend of his had corn, and somebody came to the farm and said, well, this can't be local. It's knee-high by 4th of July. But no, there's local corn, the Sorgels, Janowski's, there's local corn out there, and nothing like
the heat,
like corn season. Well, all that rain, all that heat. Yes, local corn is here, and it is also the start of bargain season, which is exciting. I've been at the nurseries and seeing all sorts of great bargains out there. I was at Hahn the other day. If you're looking for Mexican sunflower. I always talk about Mexican sunflower, and if you hadn't planted it yet, they've got a ton of pollinator plants, but also Mexican sunflower there. And then in the bargain area, I got a couple stevias. You know what stevia is? That like fake sugar stuff that comes from a plant. And so those were cheap. I saw okra there. If you ever want to try okra, that was cheap. Hanging baskets were cheap. Lots of stuff on sale. And you know me, Rob. I like to get my deals. And so you could find lots of deals out there because you can still plant. And it's just like planting in this weather. I planted yesterday, but I plant at the end of the day just because I want the plants to get established. And I water them good. And actually, even in containers, I'm mulching the plants, putting a little bit of straw on top of them. I put another hot pepper in yesterday, some kind of Italian variety that's not super hot that I thought would be good. But let's talk a little bit about watering because that's something we're going to have to do certainly this week with how hot it is. How are you doing in the heat out there? Are you doing okay in the garden? When it gets this hot, I'm like, I want to sit in the garden, but I did have work to do, but the best time to water is early in the morning if you can do it that way. And the reason we do it early in the morning, and if you've listened to the show for a long time, you've heard this over and over again, is that this lets the plants dry out, the foliage of the plant dry out, and that's what we want. We don't want that foliage to stay wet. When I planted those tomatoes really early in the season before I went to London, they were in too early and it was cold and wet, and now they have fungal issues. And so planting later and keeping those that foliage from getting wet, because again, like people would say, well, why don't we just water at night and then we don't lose any to evaporation? Well, that's the problem. You don't want, like on a tomato or a lilac or a phlox or a zucchini, something like that. You don't want the foliage to stay wet because they're all prone to fungal issues. So we water early in the morning, and when you're watering Soak the plant in. Don't just sprinkle. Soak it in. And if you're wondering, hey, should I be watering after all that rain? The way we tell is that we get down into that dirt. We stick our fingers either in the pot or down into the soil. And if it's dry, yes, it needs water. If it's moist, we can wait. That's so important about mulching. You know, when I was mulching earlier in the spring, I'm preserving all that spring moisture. We had all that rain, but a lot of that's gone. It's soaked in. The plants have used it up. And if you can't water in the morning, that's okay too. I'm just talking about the perfect time to do it. Get that plant ready for the day. Put water on it, and you'll be out in the garden when it's nice and cool. Don't miss the show. Don't miss the Sunday morning show. But after that, go out and do your watering. And I've got lots of cool stuff blooming in the garden. And one is the Stewardia tree. Luke Warner is going to be here later. We're going to talk about trees in summer here and in this heat and why it's important to have a certified arborist on your property. But whenever I talk to those arborists, I'm always talking about the Stewardia tree, how much I love the Stewardia. And I actually saw one. I was did a story at the Pittsburgh Botanic Garden, and they have a little Stewardia right outside the Welcome Center, and you can see those blooms, and they're like white with a yellow center and kind of peony-like. One of my favorite trees. It has a great shape. It doesn't get too big, and then it has good fall color, but then it has this kind of mottled bark, like kind of a gray and tan bark. But the star is right now, and you got these white flowers blooming. They're so beautiful. And then I got a gift of this spirea years ago from a gardening friend, and it's a spirea, and the Latin on the last part of spirea is billiardii. Billiardii, so like billiard and then billiardii. I think that's the way you say it. I don't know. But anyway, the wonderful thing about spireas in general, and I have a lot of them in the garden, and your normal, old-fashioned spirea is bloomed and done. It's like a bridal. They call it like a bridal, just the white flowers. And this has kind of like, it looks like a kind of a crooked finger, only it's like a pink, frizzy flower. Deer won't touch it, and it blooms for a long time. Really, really beautiful shrub, and again, just nothing. We don't have to do anything to keep it going. And so funny, when my friend gave it to me, she thought that like this variety of spirea was very, very rare. She couldn't find it listed anywhere. She finally figured out what it was, and I was explaining it to Jessica, who used to host the show with me, Jessica Walliser, and I said, "Oh, it's supposed to be really," and it's got this kind of flower. She goes, "Oh, Spirea billiardii, right?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess it's not that rare," but a very, very cool plant. And the other thing that's going in the garden right now, going nuts, are the hardy bananas. If you don't have hardy banana in your garden, you might really love to have a hardy banana in the garden because it gives you that tropical look. And all you do at the end of the winter, all we do is I just put a big thing of straw on top of it, and it does its thing. And now we've got lots of banana trees out there in the garden. And for the next segment, Rob, we should get some callers.
We should get some callers. Then Luke Warner will be here. Davy Tree Talking Tree. Number to dial is 866-391-1020. It's your Pratt Pack. It's a Sunday morning. The Organic Gardener, Doug Oster, DougOster.com, is on the air.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. A Pittsburgh tradition. Bucks lost at Seattle last night, 1-0. 2 teams again today, 4:05 first pitch, 93-7 the Fan. Yannick Sinner advanced as he defeated Pedro Martinez in a dominant straight sets performance, showcasing his strong form as he continues his quest for a Wimbledon title. Also advancing yesterday in England, Novak Djokovic. On the women's side, Iga Swiatek advanced to the round of 16 after a commanding performance against Danielle Collins of the U.S. And through 3 rounds of the John Deere Classic, defending champion Davis Thompson closed with a back-to-back birdie on 17 and 18 to seize a one-stroke lead after Saturday's 3rd round of the John Deere Classic in Illinois. Thompson is trying to become the first back-to-back John Deere winner since Steve Stricker took 3 from 2009 and 2011. And NASCAR is racing today in Chicago. More sports at 937thefan.com.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 30% and get 18-month no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking. Early bird special $49.99. Seminars Wednesday, July 23rd, Hilton Garden Inn, Pittsburgh, Cranberry and Cranberry Township, or Thursday, July 24th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh, West and Green Tree. Weight loss at 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar at 8 p.m.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Jumpin' July specials at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Heinz Ketchup, 38-ounce bottles, $2.99 each. Whole seedless watermelons, $3.99 each. And fresh boneless chicken tenders are $2.99 a pound. Additional savings in our meat department. All natural pork baby back ribs, $3.49 a pound. And farm-raised fresh salmon steaks, $10.99 a pound. In our produce department, fresh southern sweet corn, $3.99 a dozen. And sweet Northwest cherries are $1.99 a pound. In our deli department, steakhouse-style baked potato salad, $5.49 a pound. And old-time oven-roasted turkey breast is $8.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Bush's baked beans, 21 to 28-ounce cans, 2 for $5.
So get in for all the great savings underway right now at one of your locally owned and independently operated Coons Markets. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on CoonsMarket.com. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, any gardening question you may have, now is the time to reap the harvest. Give us a call, 866-391-1020. All of our lines are open. Lance just told me that somebody wanted to know about a particular sale. What Doug was saying is a lot of our great sponsors have a number of sales right now.
Yeah. The place I was at was at Hahn, but I've been seeing online that a lot of the places have sales trying to get moving stuff. You know, they got all the plant material there. When it does get hot like this, I don't think people shop as often as they should. I'm out there in this heat to buy plants and such. And like I said, just plant later in the day, put a lot of water on it. The plants will be fine. You can get all sorts of deals out there. Like I said, still putting peppers in. I put the last tomato in for this week's In Doug's Garden video. We visit Old Economy Village. I'm doing a planting project at Orchard Park with Farm to Table, Buy Fresh, Buy Local. And I planted a tomato, my last tomato of the year, which was from a compost surprise. All right, got a call there, Rob?
Actually, I have a couple of calls. Let's start off with Patty. Hey, Patty, good morning.
Good morning. I have a question about an apple tree, seedling. I planted a seed this spring, and miraculously, it bloomed. Now it's about 6 inches tall. It's still in its original little pot. What do I do with it from here besides putting it into a new pot, and how do I winter it over?
So let's be sure that during this heat that we keep plenty of water on it, but do not overwater it. And I would be tempted when things cool off a little bit, when we get a break in the weather, it goes back to the 80s or around there, to plant it up into a bigger container. Only reason being is we want those roots to get established. We want this plant to be ready, because to winter it over, I'm going to suggest that when we get to September, that you find a place out in the garden to put it. Even if it would be its permanent place. Do you know where it's going to go, where you're going to want it?
I do not know where I want to put it. I just wanted to know, just to let it go dormant on its own outside, okay. I guess.
Yeah, so
right?
So during the summer, sometime when the weather gets a little bit easier than 90s, we will pot it up into a bigger container. I would say,
right.
A gallon size container, and let it do its thing. Put it in like a good planting mix and grow it out all summer. Then in September, take it out of that container and put it in, if you don't know where you're going to be, where its permanent location is going to be, put it in something we call a nursery bed, which is just an area where you've improved the soil, you've put some compost in, you put that tree in there. It can sit there until you're ready to plant it for real. And the best time to plant a tree is in the fall. But you can get away with putting it in early in the spring, too. We don't want to be planting a tree around this time of the year. I'm going to ask Luke Warner from Davey Tree about that if he's planting during the summer. So does that explain everything?
Yes, that's fine. That's just what I needed to hear.
All right. Good luck with that.
All right, let's go to Marie. Marie up next for Doug on the Organic Gardener, KDKA. Hey, Marie.
Hi. Thank you so much for the show. I have a small city grass front yard, and I want to stop cutting the grass due to my age. And I have a row of lamb's ears going across my house about 2 feet deep. And I want to know the fastest way to get the lamb's ears to take over the grass. Like, should I transplant little plants throughout the yard, or wait till they go to seed and throw the seeds?
Yeah, you'd rather transplant the little plants. That's going to be faster for you. Now, do you think you could get rid of the grass and then plant, or are you just going to plant this stuff and hope it takes over the grass?
I did spray the grass with weed kill already twice early in the summer, and it didn't kill it. It did kill the weeds, and it said you can plant it was a short time, within 24 hours after you kill the grass, but it didn't kill the grass.
How big is the lot?
It's like 10 feet deep, 30 or 40 feet long across the front of my house. 30 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. But I was going to put mulch. That's why I killed it. And then I decided the lamb's ear stays there all year round.
Right.
Because it gets half sun, half shade. And I really like the look of the lamb's ear. So and then eventually I can add up.
It's going to take a while. I would start, and I would do this in the fall. I would do this in September. Take some of those lamb's ears and work them into the lawn area by putting little planting holes with compost in them. And you want that lamb's ears to have everything it needs so that it can spread and kind of take over where the grass is.
Well, they're spreading in the cracks of my sidewalk.
Right.
They're coming up in my garage.
Right.
I mean, in my driveway.
Yeah, they should be able to take over. We want them to be happier than the grass. That's why we're gonna improve those planting holes with compost. And I would start, it would take a couple seasons to do this, but I would just start on the edge of the lawn and see how it does. See if they can start touching and kind of choke out the grass, and see how it goes.
I thought they spread by the roots.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
Is that how?
Yep, that's what they'll do.
But there's a lot of seeds. There's a lot of those plant, the purple flowers are there now, and they'll dry out later in the season. And I thought maybe
there's nothing wrong with
I didn't know how they're spreading.
There's nothing wrong with using the seeds, but it's going to be quicker if you use the plants.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
That's all. There's no
thick where they're at now.
No problem with throwing the seeds down there. See what they do. If they sprout, more power to them. All right?
Okay, and they do stay good even in the winter. Is there anything else I could do for them in the winter? Should I cover them?
Nope. You just let them do their thing, and they'll be happy, and you'll have the softest lawn in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Okay, then. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
All right, Marie, thanks. One more call before the bottom of the hour, then Luke Warner, Davey Tree after the news. Here's Claire, Forest Hills for Doug on the Organic Gardener, KDKA. Good morning, Claire.
Morning. Thank you for taking my call. I have a hibiscus that looks like it's being attacked. The buds are like small, and there's black around them. I don't know whether I should spray them with 7 or I just sprayed them with Bobette yesterday because they're being eaten by the deer too.
Right, so use the Bob-X to keep the deer off them. And then your hibiscus, what's probably happening there is called sawfly larva. And on the Organic Gardener show, we're never going to use 7. We're going to use something called Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew. And you can find that at any good nursery, any one of our sponsors. And it's an organic control that those little black things will ingest. Then it affects their nervous system. They stop feeding, and then they'll be gone. So that's what we need to do when we're dealing with. It'll be on hibiscus and roses, sawfly larva. It kind of looks like Swiss cheese on your plants, and that's the solution.
All right, thank you for the call. 1 minute to the break, all yours.
All right, as I've been talking about, we are in a heat wave. Get water on those plants this morning if they need it, especially containers. Containers dry out so much quicker. I always say in April, I love my containers. In July, I say I hate my containers because I have to water a lot. In fact, when I was at Han, I was looking for a hanging basket, and I wanted the biggest hanging basket I could get. I could barely carry that thing, but it won't need as much water. Bigger is better for your containers.
All right, stay with us. Tell them what's coming up after the break.
It's Luke Warner from Davey Tree. Got any tree questions? Give us a call, 866-391-1020.
All right, all sorts of great things coming up next hour, like your favorite summer salads. We're going to do that with Frank. And, of course, we got lots more today, including Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. You don't want to miss it. Here's what we have in store for you. All the Steelers things that are going on and what could yet be. We're going to be talking to a longtime coach, Duquesne University, good friend Jerry Schmidt. And then, what's it take to make it as a professional tennis player from a place that has, well, made a lot of great professional tennis players, IMG Academy in Florida. Joe Giordano will join us live from the Sunshine State. So we got a busy day all the way till 1 o'clock on KDKA. Good morning.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Terry, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times. But when you need us, we are here for you. And we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 70 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A little girl's recovering after witnesses say she was hit by one of the participants in the Canonsburg 4th of July parade. A woman who was also struck tells KDKA-TV when she and her family were watching the parade, one of the Shriners lost control of their motorbike while trying to avoid a parade staff member. And as they swerved, they ended up in the path of the woman's family, running over her foot and hitting the little girl in front of her. The woman tells KDKA-TV it all happened so fast.
We ended up calling 911. My sister did. They came over. We were all trying to apply pressure to her head because she was bleeding. Paramedics came over. They did end up taking her to the hospital. Then they came over, they looked at my foot. They were trying to get me to go to the hospital. I wouldn't.
In a post on social media, the little girl's mother says she's received treatment and is expected to be okay. Fireworks are to blame for, officials say, for a number of house fires or structure fires in the past few days. A fire broke out inside of a home on the 2500 block of Cleveland Street in McKeesport. No injuries reported. In Forest Hills, a residence in the 100 block of Park Ridge Place was the scene of a fire with major damage reported. No word on if there were any injuries in that circumstance. Also in the 7500 block of Ellesmere Street in Swissville, firefighters suffered a leg injury while battling a fireworks-related fire there. And on Woodland Drive in Kennedy Township, a fire was confirmed there with a firefighter taken to the hospital for an issue that was non-fire related. Well, a confrontation over fireworks led to a man being shot in Beaver Falls. Police say a 47-year-old man confronted a 20-year-old man after the 20-year-old man allegedly threw fireworks in the direction of children on Friday night along 12th Street around 10:15 p.m. That 20-year-old man, identified as Jaden Stoll of Beaver Falls, then allegedly shot the 47-year-old before being tackled by the victim. 47-year-old man was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Meanwhile, Stoll is now facing charges including aggravated assault, recklessly endangering another person, as well as a firearm violation. KDKA Radio News Time, 7:32. AccuWeather forecast next.
Hard at work for over 75 years, Dram watering tools have been the professional's choice for quality and durability. Now you can create the softest shower of rain with a Dram rain wand in your garden. Choose from 9 water patterns for a variety of uses with a revolver spray gun. And use a color storm sprinkler for a lush playground. Quality you can depend on for a lifetime. Dram, the professional's choice for lawn and garden. Available at a fine garden center near you. Visit us online at dram.com.
Starting a home improvement project? Before you build a deck, plant a tree, or put up a fence, remember to call 811. Professionals from underground utilities like Peoples will mark your lines with flags so you can dig safely. Whether you're doing the work yourself or hiring a professional, calling 811 before you dig is free for homeowners. And it's the law. Call 811 3 days before you dig to keep you and your family safe. Peoples, an essential utilities company.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Expect a sunny, hot, and humid day today on the way to a high of 92, then just some clouds around tonight with a low of 70. Tomorrow brings sunshine, giving way to clouds. Watch for afternoon showers and a thunderstorm with a high of 89. Then a humid and less warm day for Tuesday with a thunder shower in spots and a high of 84. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, let's take the 10th caller. That's the 10th caller at 412-922-1020. And if you're the 10th caller, you can get a $25 gift certificate courtesy of Janoski's in Clinton.
And now, it's time for Talking Trees, a service of the Davey Tree Expert Company.
We're joined by Luke Warner from the Davey Tree Expert Company. Good morning, Luke. How are you?
I'm doing well, Doug. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. We're going to talk about why you should get a certified arborist on your property. But before we do, I want to talk a little bit about the weather with you. In general, for the season, when we had all this rain and then all this heat, how has that affected trees, or has it affected trees?
Oh, it certainly has, and it's been challenging. A lot of this started with that late April storm, but when you go from all this rain, these trees produce sometimes as many leaves as they're possible, or they're able to produce in the spring. And as you get those dry spells, they tend to lose a lot of moisture through those excess leaves, so they'll end up dropping a lot of their leaves, just kind of like in a summer leaf drop, to help them better mitigate, the moisture in their system. But a lot of issues with diseases, fungi, a lot of stuff goes on when you get these temperatures that don't seem to ever fall below, 70, mid-70 degrees overnight.
Yeah. And what about watering? Do we get enough rain for a big tree that you don't have to worry about watering, or what do you think?
Yeah, it depends what species of trees they are. When they were planted. So a lot of that goes into it, but just, using my own house as an example, as I planted a few swamp white oaks and an elm. That would have been last spring, and I did it right before we got that really hot dry spell last summer. So keeping those new trees adequately watered last year was very important, but it's equally as important this year. So oftentimes people will they plant a tree, they'll put it in last year, and then come the new year, they kind of forget about it or ignore it a little bit when they really shouldn't be. If it gets hot and dry, it's still very important to make sure you water that new tree. You want them to establish a very deep root zone. That way, later on in their life, when we do have these drought events or heat events, their root system has been established very well, and they can, kind of grab and use that water that's in our soil profile underground.
So have you had to water that swamp white oak or elm yet this season?
Yes, I have. When it started to get really hot and dry, I started, supplementing the watering. I also get, there's some kind of devices you can use that help watering, tree watering bags. You can make buckets, that type of thing. That way you're watering kind of deep, infrequent watering versus, a couple times a day real lightly. Because, again, you want to make sure that water gets deep.
When you planted those last year and we had that kind of drought period, did it worry you, or you just figured you knew enough that as long as I keep water on that, they'll be fine?
Well, it did worry me because, I plant all the trees with my daughter, so she gets really upset every time that each tree loses one leaf. And she starts, yelling in my direction. So, but no, I did, I was worried in the sense that, I knew it was going to be stressful for the trees, but sometimes that can be stressful for, the person that plants them because it's, now you have this responsibility and, I didn't necessarily know that weather event or that summer was coming.
Sure.
But okay, here we are, and now I just kind of have to do my due diligence and make sure you water the tree adequately. So you put all the time and energy into planting it, you just have to water it to take care of it.
One more question before we go on to our topic. You said you planted an elm. I always thought you couldn't plant an elm because of Dutch elm disease. It's okay, or is it a variety that we could plant now?
Exactly. There's a lot of hybridized varieties, and the one I planted was I believe it's a Patriot elm is what it was called. It doesn't get as big as our traditional American elms, so I think that tree only is going to get 40 to 50 feet tall. So kind of like a nice mid-range plant, but there are a lot of varieties of elms now that are a lot more resistant to Dutch elm disease than our traditional American elms were.
So the importance of having a certified arborist come to your property, I already know the importance. I have learned so much from your team that I have to have, the guy from Davie that comes for me, his name's Vince, and at least twice a year, I want to have him take a look because, as I always say, I'm living in this declining oak forest, but every homeowner has their own set of special circumstances, right?
Yeah, every property is different, and some properties have a towering canopy of trees, above all of their structures, and some of them may just have some ornamental trees around the foundation, but that doesn't mean you can not look for somebody who's a professional in their field, and that's exactly what a certified arborist is. So as a certified arborist, it's hiring a certified arborist, that you're getting somebody that is essentially, considered a professional in their field. So they have to have gone through certain experience and certain education. They have to follow certain standards, both on, how they do their work, ethics. They have to follow a certain standard as there as well. But there's a lot of different benefits that you can get from them. So you know that you're hiring someone who is, again, a professional in their field. You can trust what they say, and it's not just somebody who is going to, possibly recommend, removing a tree because that's what they specialize in is tree removals, and that's how they make their money. So,
well, that's the point I wanted to get to, because this to me is the most important part. First off, when you call a certified arborist from Davie Tree, they will come for free, right?
Yes. Yeah, we do consultations free of charge.
And secondly, you're bound by a code of ethics, and so you're not going to sell something to somebody that they don't need, and that's why you have to have a certified arborist. You don't want just some guy who, no matter what, he's not going to leave the property without doing a job. And that's, to me, the importance of having somebody that knows what they're doing and is bound by this code of ethics. Talk about the code of ethics that a certified arborist is bound by.
Well, most of our clients love trees, and that's why they're calling us. But the arborists and the representatives that go to each house every day, they love trees more than the average person. So they're going there because they want to do tree work. They really care about the health and safety of trees. So if we come to a property, we're going to look at the tree in question. Does it need to be removed because of hazards, or can those hazards be mitigated by pruning, or maybe installing a cable or a brace to help it through some summer storms, or maybe it has an insect or disease or something we can treat and take care of the tree. So it's not just we're looking at it, down a very short-sighted picture there. So we're trying to look at the whole property. And more often than not, when we go to a property to look at, say a white oak in the backyard, as we're walking to that white oak in the backyard, we're looking at everything else, right? We're looking at, the trees on the property line. We're looking at everything up against the house. So we're trying to find all those things that may be causing problems that not everybody can see. But we're going to make sure that, if the tree can be treated, we're going to give you those options. If it needs to be pruned or could be pruned, we're going to give you those options. And ultimately, if the tree needs removed, we're going to give you those options as well, and maybe even some replacement options of what would do well there.
Well, doesn't it feel good, though, when you're kind of like the tree doctor and you get to give the owner or patient the good news?
I mean, it goes both ways. But, this storm we recently had, I had a client that he moved to the area from out of state a few years ago, and we've done quite a bit of tree work, and his property was similar to yours, a lot of large oaks over the house and everything. And through the storm, he just lost, some branches, that were down, and we cleaned them up. And, he called and he's like, "Hey, Luke, just want to let you know, we got really lucky with the storm, And, we don't have anything big down, but we have some little stuff we need cleaned up. But, I reminded him that it wasn't because of luck that he made it through the storm with just getting some branches down, that he was very well prepared. He had hired, a company that we were able to look at all those things. He has some cables in his trees, he has some bolts in his trees, and we pruned all those trees around the house and removed the hazard ones. So when that storm came, he was well prepared for it. We can't predict Mother Nature, but he put everything in the right order to be prepared to keep his property and things safe when that event happened.
Well, I felt the same thing for that storm in my property. Having a certified arborist, making sure that like you said, you never know, but it's great to have everything done. All right, Luke, hang in there. We're going to get a break. For more information about Davey Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davey.com/KDKA. And remember, you can always call the experts like Luke from Davey Tree at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-8733.
One more look at sports, and then we're coming right back with Doug and Luke on KDKA.
Honored to win the Marconi Award as the best news talk station in the country. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Sports brought to you by
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. A Pittsburgh tradition. Bucks lost at Seattle last night, 1-0. Two teams again today. 4:05 first pitch. 93-7 the Fan. Yannick Sinner advanced as he defeated Pedro Martinez in a dominant straight sets performance, showcasing his strong form as he continues his quest for a Wimbledon title. Also advancing yesterday in England, Novak Djokovic. On the women's side, Iga Swiatek advanced to the round of 16 after a commanding performance against Danielle Collins of the U.S. And through 3 rounds of the John Deere Classic, defending champion Davis Thompson closed with a back-to-back birdie on 17 and 18 to seize a one-stroke lead after Saturday's 3rd round of the John Deere Classic in Illinois. Thompson is trying to become the first back-to-back John Deere winner since Steve Stricker took 3 from 2009 and 2011. And NASCAR is racing today in Chicago. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRAFFIC25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code TRAFFIC25.
Spring planting is in full swing. Hi, it's Randy Sorgel from Sorgels in Wexford. When making your choice for quality plants, friendly service, and family reputation, we hope you choose Sorgels. Remember, not only do you get all of that at Sorgels, we have the farm animals, the bakery, the deli, ice cream, the gift shop, home accents, baby apparel, Naturally Sorgels gluten-free store, as well as Arsenal cider, and of course, there's Tiny Town. But if you are not able to get to Sorgels, please pick a family-owned garden center close to you, like the other advertisers in this show. Families care about you and need your support, and they don't sell washing machines. So please, thanks for your support to all of us and the other hardworking families in the gardening industry. Sorgels, 724-935-2090.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify.
You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Hey, your Pratt Pack for Janoski's. Hey, coming up Thursday, July 17th, 3 to 7, food trucks, hay rides, live music, flavors from around the world, Route 30 in Clinton. And July 19th and 20th, Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 5. It's Christmas in July in Pittsburgh Gem Show. Gift ideas for everyone from over 90 crafters and vendors. And here's something extra. The first of the season. You don't have to wait. Sweet corn, sweet corn, sweet corn is available today for your Sunday fun day at Janoski's Route 30 in Clinton.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Back to Doug and Luke, and we've even got John in Washington waiting to talk to these gentlemen. Go ahead there, Doug.
All right, Luke. Warner is back from Davy Tree Expert Company. And Luke, I wanted to ask you, can you still plant trees in weather like this?
Yeah, you can plant trees any time of year, but you're putting yourself in the tree in the best kind of opportunity for it to be healthy and established well if you do it in the spring or in the fall. So you can plant them now. You're just going to probably need a little bit more labor on your end doing the watering.
The other tree that you mentioned was swamp white oak. Is that right, that you planted last year?
Yeah, I put a few swamp white oaks in last year.
What is that tree, and why do arborists like it so much? Because I hear about it a lot from arborists.
It's similar to a white oak. The growth pattern is kind of unique, a little bit. A lot of times it's a little bit smaller than a white oak. The underside of the leaves are very bright, so there's a nice contrast between the underside of the leaf and the top of the leaf. But the bark, it has a unique kind of flaring to it. It just has a little bit more character, I would say, than some of the other ones. But I think when it comes down to it is most arborists like large trees. So you usually probably tend to see a lot of arborists plant trees that can tend to get mature and very large in size.
And with an arborist planting it, we know that it won't be planted too close to something.
Yeah, hope so.
It better be planted right.
So yeah, I did a little group of swamp white oaks. So I put 3 of them to create kind of like a little grove when they grow up.
So does John have a question, Rob?
Yeah. Hey, John, how are you? Good morning. Got about a minute and a half.
Okay, real quick, a couple things. Spirea. They used to be called Anthony Waters. Is that correct?
Is that right, Luke? Did Spirea used to have another name?
I'm not familiar of that. I've always just known Spirea.
That's all I've known, too. Say the name again, John.
Anthony Waters. Like Anthony, the name, and water is water.
No, I don't know about that.
Okay, next thing. Joseph Maroon was a noted Pittsburgh neurosurgeon. He's probably about 99, probably doesn't practice, but a couple of weeks ago I heard him talking, and he's into health right now, and he said avoid apple juice. The reason is it contains some arsenic, and he said that apple trees leach arsenic from the soil. Have you ever heard of that?
Luke, you ever heard anything about that, about apple trees and arsenic?
I have not. That would be new to me as well.
Yeah, I've never
answer on that.
I never heard anything like that either.
All right, gentlemen, we are out of time. Doug, take us home.
All right. For more information about Davy Tree or to ask what's going on with your trees, go to davy.com/KDKA. And remember, you can always call the experts from Davy Tree at 855-982-TREE. That's 855-982-8733.
All right, there he goes up the lazy river to do a little fishing later today, but your Pratt Pack rolls on after the news at 8. We're talking summer salads, cucumbers, and Cobb salads, and that fresh summer salad, whatever you like to put in it and on it. We'll talk about it next on the Coons Cooking Hour.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richard.
Joining us from New York, CBS's Dave Rosenbaum. And a lot of people assuming Combs would get convicted of something more serious.
Did not find that he was guilty of RICO charges, but did find that he was guilty of the Mann Act, which is anytime you're funding prostitution across state lines.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Larry Richard with Andy Amrine from Evie True Value Hardware Store. Thanks, Andy, for introducing me to Harmony Organic Insect Control.
Harmony is your first true organic insect control on the market, Larry. It's good for fleas, ticks, spiders, bed bugs, ants, everything. All those nasty insects that are living in your house, you now have an organic way of controlling it. Harmony Organic Insect Control.
Go to harmonyoic.com, available at participating True Value Hardware stores.
When it's cancer, life gets complicated. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team guides you through. Appointments, expert specialists, emotional support, done. Because at AHN, we see you. Visit ahn.org/cancer team. When it's cancer, AHN knows. Life takes a village. Cancer takes a team. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team gets you the support you need. An expert care plan, financial guidance, emotional support. Visit ahn.org/cancer team.
For a beautiful garden that's healthy and safe, use Dramatic Organic Fertilizers by Dram. It's the organic choice to produce brilliant fruits and vegetables that are healthy for your family. And because it's all natural, it's safe for barefoot fun and playful pets. Available at your local garden center or nursery. Ask for Dramatic Organic Fertilizers. Visit us online at dram.com. Dramatic Organic for dramatic results.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 71 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. One man is dead. 2 others are in the hospital after a shooting that took place in Somerset County early Saturday morning. Happened around 1 o'clock on Crestview Drive in Somerset Township. It was a reported domestic disturbance. Police say a 23-year-old man shot 2 people, a 24-year-old man and 24-year-old woman. Before that, 23-year-old man apparently shot himself. He died at the scene. The other two who were shot were transported to the hospital. No word on their conditions. Police believe the 23-year-old man was the ex-boyfriend of the 24-year-old woman. The shooting incident is under investigation. Well, a little girl's recovering after witnesses say she was hit by one of the participants in the Canonsburg 4th of July parade. A woman who was also struck tells KDKA-TV that when she and her family were watching the parade, one of the Shriners lost control of their motorbike while trying to avoid a parade staff member. And as they swerved, they ended up in the path of the woman's family, running over her foot and hitting the little girl in front of her. The woman tells KDKA-TV it happened so fast.
We ended up calling 911. My sister did. They came over. We were all trying to apply pressure to her head because she was bleeding. Paramedics came over. They did end up taking her to the hospital. Then they came over, they looked at my foot. They were trying to get me to go to the hospital. I wouldn't.
In a post on social media, the little girl's mother says she's received treatment and is expected to be okay. A confrontation over fireworks led to a man being shot in Beaver Falls. Police say a 47-year-old man confronted a 20-year-old man after the 20-year-old allegedly threw fireworks in the direction of children Friday night along 12th Street. A 20-year-old man identified as Jaden Stoll of Beaver Falls then allegedly shot the 47-year-old before being tackled by the victim. 47-year-old man was transported to the hospital in stable condition. Meanwhile, Stoll now is being charged with aggravated assault, recklessly endangering another person, and a firearm violation. Well, the fireworks are to blame for a number of house fires or structure fires in the past few days. That's according to fire officials. A fire broke out inside of a home in the 2500 block of Cleveland Street in McKeesport. No injuries reported. In Forest Hills, a residence in the 100 block of Park Ridge Place was the scene of a fire with major damage reported. In the 7500 block of Ellesmere Street in Swissvale, a firefighter suffered a leg injury while battling a fireworks-related fire there. And in Kennedy Township, along Woodland Drive, a fire was confirmed there, with a firefighter taken to the hospital for an issue that was non-fire related. KDK Radio News Time is 8:02, and we have the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
ABC Transit is urgently hiring for CDL and van drivers. Current sign-on bonus for Class B with S&P endorsements is $2,500. Van drivers get a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Complete their CDL program and earn up to $1,000 in additional bonuses. Safety and attendance bonuses available. You must be able to pass all background and clearance checks, must be drug-free. 9 locations in Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties. Apply in person. Call 724-831-8500.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a hot, humid, and sunny end to the long holiday weekend with a high of 92, then clear much of the time tonight with a low of 70. Sun gives way to clouds tomorrow with afternoon showers and a thunderstorm, high 89. With sun and clouds for Tuesday, another thunder shower for some and a high of 84. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
Well, good morning. Let's get into the kitchen now and get cooking. But maybe we'll want to do it outside. It's going to be a little too hot to be in the kitchen today. But we got lots of good things coming up. We're going to be talking your favorite summer salad. So if you have a favorite summer salad, it doesn't have to be the leaf kind. It can be fruit as well. Maybe some cucumber salads out there, some recipes, mix and match. We want to hear from you. Let's get going. Load up these phone lines. Someone's going to take home a $25 gift certificate, but you have to participate to get the possibility of taking home that gift card, which we always draw at random just before the top of the next hour. So number 866-391-1020. Want to thank all of our patrons and many of you new to Coons Market because you're realizing no one's going to give you a better selection, better service, and bottom line when it comes to price. And we just had another 2-day sale. And Frank, you were out and about in the stores. I was out and about in the stores doing a lot of social media stuff. It was another smashing success. And I think rolling into the 4th of July holiday helped a little bit, did it not? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, we were talking about salads today, and the one came to my mind because of the 2-day sale. So we had 2-pound bags of sliced pepperoni for $3.88 each, not by pound, but each for 2 pounds. And I saw a lot of people buying the rotelli pasta, that tricolor pasta, and I always think of the pepperoni and cheddar with some broccoli, some carrots, and such with that pasta mixed with Italian dressing. You see at a lot of picnics, and watching some of the customers going through, I can almost see what they were cooking that night. It was kind of interesting to watch things go through and guess what I guess that's a grocery game. I don't know.
It is a
but
grocery
we're
game.
watching to see, kind of guessing what they're making that night because you can see exactly what they're coming through in through the register and just the different things that people are using some of the 2-day sale stuff for. But I mean, that's the kind of things we like to put out that are something that people are looking for. That's gonna be right on the spot. That's just a great deals. We'll keep doing the pepperoni, and of course we had a Sugardale bacon that was quite the hit, and again, works out for picnics. It's a nice topper for a burger or any different crumble for different salads, and of course breakfast. Who can't forget breakfast? The delicious bacon and eggs in the morning. But yeah, we're talking pasta salad or salads, summer salads this show, and I always think of pasta salads this time of year because of all the picnics that are going on and the different things people are doing. They travel very well, but just any of the little tossed salads and that people do, all different kind of unique salads. Even up to the ham salads, tuna salads, egg salad, all those old fashioned, but not so old fashioned since now we make sliders out of them, out of those different salads, and nice variety, and those kind of things that people are looking for. Whether you buy ours, of course, or if you go and grind your own ham at home. And grinding them and mixing up your own special mix for that. So you can't forget that. It's beyond just tossed salads, it's all the different things. And who can forget if you shop at Coons, which you should be, because that potato salad is second to none.
It's the best, your mom's recipe.
That's what we do. And, you keep things nice and fresh, something that you can make them, every day in the stores that people can enjoy. And we go through a lot of potato salad, but it's not just potato salad. We've been working on a different chicken salad, which will be coming out hopefully next month, with adding some different flavors for another flavor, and just remembering tasting a lot of chicken and different flavorings, different seasonings, and just chicken salad's been on the mind too. Get that, some nice croissants, you got some nice sandwiches going on, or just put that over a bed of lettuce and enjoy it just like a normal salad.
And don't forget Organic Girl and Fresh Express salad kits. So it's really easy to get that fresh, delicious summertime salad at Coons Market. But we want to hear from you. Pasta salad, tuna salad, egg salad, potato salad, macaroni salad, and those incredibly other delicious salads. And how about a cucumber and tomato salad, a classic summer staple, is it not?
It definitely is, and mixing again with the Italian dressing or a balsamic vinaigrette is a great flavor. Or this time of year, our gardens are probably starting to produce some tomatoes here coming up real soon. And getting some nice fresh mozzarella, slicing that down, getting some grape tomatoes or some of your beefsteak tomatoes, those large tomatoes that have been growing. Everything's cooking in the garden now, but growing in the garden. And slicing those up together, putting some salt, pepper, and oregano, and get a nice balsamic, either a glaze or a dressing over on top of it. absolutely delicious. Or another one that's actually good, another item we sell in our produce departments because it has to be refrigerated. The old Red Bull Italian dressing.
Ooh.
You pour some of that over that, and it just hit the spot. Nice and refreshing, especially for hot days like this. I know I've never drank so much water in the past 3 days working outside, and just a nice refreshing salad.
Yeah, did you bring me some of that water from?
I didn't bring. I'm not going to share right now.
That water. Listen, Frank has been moving over the last couple of weeks. So, listen, it's a miracle that he's upright, but I think he's almost at the finish line. But he bought some property. He's got like a little bit of acreage, and he's got a little spring going out there, a little well. And he brought it in last week, and I'm like, okay, here we go. We'll see. And I'm going to tell you something. The first splash was, I could have had a knife and fork. It was like a meal. It was refreshing. It was incredible. I've never tasted water like that in my life.
That's right out of the ground. There's no filters on that. We had it tested, of course, when we bought the property, and to make sure there's nothing in it.
That's why I drank it last week. So I'm still here.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just absolutely.
It is.
You would have sworn it was one of them high class bottled waters. There's no filters or anything. This is right out of the ground. You can't get any more natural than that. It comes out of the ground just ice cold, especially next to the well, where the well is coming out of the ground. Boy, is it nice and refreshing.
Is it that cold?
Yeah, it's cold. Of course, ice is gonna make it a little colder, but it comes out of there. You don't even need ice in it.
It was really good. All right, we're talking salads, so get on the line, give us a call. You want to compete to eat. That means you get that $25 gift certificate if you call in with a recipe. One of my all-time favorites is a Caesar's salad.
I love Caesar salad. And it wasn't until I was older that it doesn't bother me because I love anchovies, but realizing in the dressing that there's anchovies. I never even knew that growing up. No one ever told me. Of course, my parents didn't tell me what half the stuff was. I hate to just see if I'd actually like it. Not making a judgment before you taste it. But a Caesar dressing is just mixed with the croutons on top, and
croutons are key.
And you have to get shaved Parmesan on top, not just the regular shredded.
And
that shaved.
Back to that cucumber salad, little feta cheese on that too. Oh
yeah, black olives.
You got to have black olives.
It gets a nice flavor.
And the other thing that is still underrated, and I used to love it when I actually was a waiter at a Maitre D'. I would always eat at like 2 o'clock in the morning because you would work from like 3 in the afternoon to 2 in the morning. And I didn't want to have something too heavy, but I wanted something to have a little bit of a kick to it. I would get a giant chef salad, on a plate. And I was just a kid then. I could burn it off anyway. But it had salami, provolone, ham. I love a good chef salad with a little bit of vinegar and oil.
Oh, yeah, but I had one of those old salad bars. I remember Red Bull.
Well, they had the best.
Red Bull had the best. Croutons were. I'm a crouton fan, obviously, but they always had that pumpernickel bread they served, with dinner, and they would toast that for the croutons.
Listen, there used to be a Red Bull right here in Carnegie, and I was dating. Yep. I was dating a girl during this time from one of the communities surrounding Carnegie, and we would get down there and get something to eat, but we would always get that little carafe of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm still not much of a drinker, but that wine, man, your eyes would be sparkling before the night was over. It was really good. I don't even know what it was. It was probably just Rianiti or something that they poured into it. But I love those little Red Bulls. And when I saw that salad dressing on your shelves for the first time, and I was so excited, I called your dad, and I'll never forget. I couldn't wait to get home, and it tastes identical.
Yeah, they do the same recipe. Obviously, they have a packer for it, following that recipe, but. It tastes the same, and of course, because of the ingredients they use, it has to stay refrigerated.
Now listen, somebody's going to tell that girl if she's not listening, hey, he was talking about you. Believe me, it was all good. We had a great relationship. It lasted a long time, and I think what kept us together was that Red Bull.
Was the wine? Yeah.
No, well, it could have been the wine too. She put up with me long enough. All right, listen, we're going to get a break in here. We'll come back, but just that little booth at Red Bull. Man, you thought you were living large.
Pictures on the walls. And stuff.
I'm like 25, 27. I thought I was like the man. Little Red Bull, those were great. Oh, I love those places. And they were everywhere. Ambridge, Beaver Falls, Carnegie. They were everywhere. So if you remember Red Bull and you want to get some of that dressing, get to Coons Market. Nobody does it better. Our selection, service, and when it comes to price, you can't beat it. And right now, and I don't even have the thing in front of me, but I think it's $3.99 each with Coons Work Hard watermelon, seedless, correct?
Yeah, we're at $3.99 each. and get some Heinz ketchup along with that. That 38-ounce bottle is $2.99. So, you can still stock up on them picnic savings.
You want to hear something? So I'm a bachelor. Opened up my refrigerator yesterday, and I'm always cleaning, fixing. I had 4 bottles of Heinz ketchup that haven't been opened in my refrigerator.
Well, you're stocked up.
I'm waiting for anything. All right, let me take a break. We'll come back. We're going to talk summer salads on the Coons Cooking Hour. Next hour, it's Carlos McClintock removing and treating those big trees. Greater Pitt Tree Service. Stay with us.
Your source for official traffic information. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
Here's AirPro's Rocco Florio. If last summer took a toll on your old, inefficient central air conditioning system and you got prices from some of the big box stores or your current heating and cooling company, and have been shocked with high prices and limited warranties, it's time to call AirPro Heating and Cooling and see why our customers save 20 to 30% over the competition.
AirPro and Bryant are offering their summer special and also 60 months interest-free financing or low 3.9% interest subject to credit approval. Call AirPro Heating and Cooling. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99. No irritability, no cravings. Because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Wednesday, July 23rd at the Hilton Garden Inn Cranberry in Cranberry Township, or Thursday, July 24th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh, West and Green Tree. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 9 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we are stacked across the board as far as phone calls. We love it. Let's go to Sam West Deer. He joins us on KDK. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Rob. How are you doing this morning?
I am spectacular, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, fine gentlemen, for getting up this early.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I wanted to talk about a wonderful summer salad. First of all, does Coons Cooking have a Tuscan salad blend available, or just a salad blend with greens and some red salad mixed in with it?
I don't know if Fresh Express has a Tuscan blend. I'll have to take a look at that. But they have an Italian mix and that kind of stuff.
An Italian mix will substitute in perfectly nice. And if you have some dried cranberries and walnuts, sweetened walnuts as well, and some feta cheese to put on top of it as well. But the key is making the salad dressing as well. And the salad dressing is a little bit of chopped garlic, a hefty amount of sugar, be about a cup of sugar. So use a decent amount of sugar. I mean, use a decent sugar. Don't use like a sweetener or anything like that. Some fresh basil. You're going to need a little bit of Burgundy red wine, and then some red wine vinegar. And you want to combine all of that and then add in slowly your blended oil. Now, I usually use a immersion blender when I add in the oil to mix it really well. But if you don't have that, you're going to have to vigorously mix it with a spoon and add the oil in slowly so that it combines all together. And that salad looks really appealing, and the dressing will just make it the icing on the cake. And then this is the perfect summer salad. Sitting out on the patio, eating that salad has always been my favorite.
Wow, that sounds like a good dressing too.
It really is.
Delicious.
It's a red
really
wine vinaigrette dressing.
Yeah, adding the actual wine in along with the wine vinegar. Yeah.
Just a little bit of the wine, but mostly the wine vinegar and then the oil, obviously, to tie it in.
All right, good.
It's
Delicious.
Delightful.
Great call, Sam. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful Sunday. Good call. Let's go to Dorian in the Rocks. Hey, Dorian, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I was gifted an old cast iron skillet, and I want to learn how to make fried hot peppers. And I've never attempted this, and I would like Mr. Dentisi to suggest the peppers I should buy at his store to give this thing a try.
Do you like spicy, or do you like just a mild, just roasted pepper? Hot peppers?
Fried hot peppers, yes. I had an Italian neighbor, and my godparents were Italian, and they all used to make that. I've never tried this, and it'll be the first time. So give me good advice, and I'm getting hungry already for it.
Yeah, just getting some banana peppers, some of the jalapenos. You can look for usually the chili peppers. We'll do a dry chili pepper we have out there, but you can add that to it. And just a nice oil. It's the simpler the better for the fresh peppers.
Which oil would you suggest? Like a real.
I was kind of debating that in my head as well. I like an olive oil, but you can't get a real high heat. Although you're not going to need a high heat. So
I have electric range.
Yeah,
I can't really control the heat too well. It's a water, it's a new one. But I always like to have gas, and my whole apartment's all electric.
Yeah, so I'd probably steer towards the canola so you don't burn the oil, because you're going to get heat right away with the electric, and it's a little bit touchy. You're right. I'd probably steer towards the canola and fry up those peppers. You may want to add some either crushed red pepper flakes into there or some chili pepper powder to add a little spice. Get some, and those banana peppers, I would get them and leave the seeds. Of course, you want it hot. Take off the top, but slice them long ways instead of in the rings.
I will.
And you can get a nice there. And you might want to get some red or orange peppers, the sweeter peppers, just to mix in, to kind of balance that heat a little bit. Or you can just go straight hot, and just do mostly of the hot. And you can actually do some green peppers that won't balance. They won't take the sweetness. They'll just accept the heat of the other peppers. But when you're doing them, leave those seeds in there. And after you fry them up real quick in that cast iron, just so they get fork tender, you can actually add sauce into there as well if you want. Mix that in together with it, and let them boil, cook down just a little bit, and enjoy a jar of them up. Put them in the fridge. Let them sit for at least a day or to really get those flavors to come together.
Thank you.
All right, Dorian.
Thank you very much.
All right, buddy. Have a great day. We're talking salads. Get on the line, 866-391-1020. One of our all-time favorites here is Pete in Crafton on KDKA. Hey, Pete, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. May I go a little off the record there? Some summer soups, cold summer soups. Take some cucumbers. I have two recipes. Take some cucumbers and peel them and seed them and dice them up real good. Put them in your blender, and while you're blending that, add some half and half to it, and make it to about almost the size of the consistency. Of heavy cream, and chill. Add a little bit of fresh dill to it, and then put it in the refrigerator and chill it up real good. And it makes a wonderful cup of soup. You can also do some fruit. You can make some cold fruit soups cantaloupe. Take it and dice it, and or strawberries or peaches, and you blend them in the blender with adding some Martini and Rossi sparkling wine, and do the consistency also of heavy cream, and chill that, and you have some good summer soups. They're delicious. You can use strawberries and peaches, and like I said, cantaloupe, and make cold summer soups.
And it's refreshing too.
Okay, Pete, before we get to our next caller, and by the way, we have some room available on the phone lines for the first time today if you want to jump in with your favorite summer salads: pasta salad, tuna, chicken, potato salad, macaroni salad, traditional leaf salad, call us. But fruit salads really are a big-time favorite this time of year. It definitely takes the edge off when it comes to the heat that we've been experiencing.
Yeah, especially with the heats and right at the right time when all the stone fruits are starting to come in as they're coming up the East Coast, coming into Georgia and all that. Now they'll be working their way up here all the way up to PA. So, this is the time of year for all those to make a nice salad out of it. Watermelons, even if you use the watermelon, hollow out the watermelon, take it and cut it in half, hollow it out. You use the watermelon, but you also add the fruits into that shell and makes a nice display piece as well. So, a lot of things you can do with those fruit salads.
And don't forget cantaloupes and honeydews.
Grapes. Add some grapes and some berries and blackberries and raspberries if you want. All those different, just buy every fruit we got. Buy every one of them. Make a nice salad.
Absolutely.
Load up.
Here's the other thing, too. I used to just love to hollow out cantaloupe or honeydew and get cottage cheese and just put right smack dab a scoop of it in the middle of whatever I've hollowed out. There's always some. Goes
great with a scoop of ice cream.
Yeah.
It gets nice vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah, absolutely. But I still like cottage cheese, and I used to eat it by the pint every day. It's been a long time. I don't know why. Salt and pepper taste. I loved cottage cheese.
Salt. I love a cottage cheese as well. A small curd, large, a lot of salt and pepper. More, not so much on the salt, but the pepper itself.
Listen,
there's enough salt in the cottage cheese.
You're the professional. You can tell me. But I've often wondered about small and large curd. And I've opened them both up, and I've devoured them both. What's the difference? There's nothing.
The size of the curd, that's it.
Really?
Yeah. That's
visibly, they're
the same. The only difference between cottage cheese is the milk they're using.
All right, we'll take a break. Come on, get on the line. Summer Salads, 866-391-1020. Good morning.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way, if that's our answer ring, call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Here's Sports Radio 93.7 The Fans, Fan About Town. Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Berg with 6 Pittsburgh locations, always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. New York style, yins are made. Sliceonbroadway.com. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. If you're over 60 and looking for a weight loss program built specifically for you, Awaken 180 is your solution with Awaken 180 Golden, a new 1 to 3 month program for fast weight loss tailored to those over 60. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. For more information, visit 937thefan.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
First offense, 15 years hard labor camp. Second offense, guillotine or firing squad. Those are your two choices. There is nothing more self-important on this earth than people who are in public spaces who are talking on the phone with it on speakerphone.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 73 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rod Taylor. Little girl's recovering after witnesses say she was struck by one of the participants in the Canonsburg 4th of July parade on Friday. A woman who was also struck tells KDKA-TV when she and her family were watching the parade, one of the Shriners lost control of their motorbike while trying to avoid a parade staff member. As they swerved, they ended up in the path of the woman's family, running over her foot and hitting the little girl in front of her. The woman tells KDKA-TV it happened so fast.
We ended up calling 911. My sister did. They came over. We were all trying to apply pressure to her head because she was bleeding. Paramedics came over. They did end up taking her to the hospital. Then they came over, they looked at my foot. They were trying to get me to go to the hospital. I wouldn't.
In a post on social media, the little girl's mother says she's recovered or has received treatment and is expected to be okay. One man is dead. 2 others are in the hospital after a shooting in Somerset County. That shooting happened early Saturday morning around 1 o'clock on Crestview Drive in Somerset Township for a reported domestic disturbance. Police say a 23-year-old man shot 2 people, a 24-year-old man, 24-year-old woman, before the 23-year-old apparently shot himself. He died at the scene. The other 2 who were shot were transported to the hospital. No word right now on their conditions. Police believe the 23-year-old man who died was the ex-boyfriend of the 24-year-old woman. That shooting incident is under investigation. Well, a confrontation over fireworks led to a man being shot in Beaver Falls. Police say a 47-year-old man confronted a 20-year-old man after the 20-year-old allegedly threw fireworks in the direction of children on 12th Street around 10:15 Friday night. That 20-year-old man, identified as Jaded Stoll of Beaver Falls, then allegedly shot the 47-year-old man before being tackled by the 47-year-old. 47-year-old man, who was not identified, was transported to the hospital in stable condition. Stoll now is facing charges including aggravated assault, recklessly endangering another person, and a firearm violation. KDK Radio News Time, 8:32. AccuWeather forecast on the way.
Rome Monument proudly celebrates the spirit of America, freedom, family, and fireworks. As a company built on tradition and craftsmanship, the Diagardi family honors those who came before us and the legacy they leave behind. So as the skies light up in red, white, and blue, take a moment to remember what truly makes this country great. Happy Independence Day from everyone at Rome Monument.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Expect a sunny, hot, and humid day today on the way to a high of 92, then just some clouds around tonight with a low of 70. Tomorrow brings sunshine, giving way to clouds. Watch for afternoon showers and a thunderstorm with a high of 89, then a humid and less warm day for Tuesday with a thundershower in spots and a high of 84. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Love the grocery business. Talk about it 24/7, and I do. Frank and I, during the break, I just saw a picture, and I said, Frank, I love deviled eggs, but how about these deviled eggs? I showed him the picture with paprika on them.
Put them on a bed of lettuce. Now they're salad. There you go.
You know, I see so many people now using salads, basically a leaf, and making like a regular sandwich, tomatoes and lettuce and pickles and your favorite condiment and whatever deli meat, Silver Star, whoever, Boar's Head, Isley's, and they just use that lettuce as the bread. It's amazing.
Well, yeah, you know, a lot of people are trying to cut out bread looking for different ways, but the other side of it is, too, you have to get enough vegetables in your diet, and if that's what works for you, that's what works.
But I love bread, too. I love bread.
Yeah, you love bread. I love
Saloni's. Ooh.
You know, I was showing you that Mancini's that's made. It was a wheat Mancini's, but it's made with the grains from the Iron City, leftover grains, and
hamburger
boy,
buns.
they were good.
We sell them at Coons. And listen, here's the thing too. Your dad hit the nail on the head. Said it all the time. It's about moderation.
It is all about moderation and eating for what you're doing during the day. So I mean, if you're not as physically active, you got to cut back what you're eating. If you're working your butt off, you know, outside and heavy labor, going to the gym and working out heavy, you're going to need more food. Just eat smart food. You know, any of the sugars or the white grains, they're going to burn off fast, that are heavier in sugar. You know, they're not going to sustain you very long. They're good for energy now, but not in half an hour. So eating the things that, you know, keeps your blood sugar down, which is another positive, but also keeps you fuller longer.
Well, here's the other thing. Things you think have little calories, you'd be shocked how much calories are in something.
Yeah, and, you know, if you're someone who's watching salt, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The amount of salt that is in just about everything, especially prepared foods. Any of the already prepared, or, you know, they're on a grocery shelf or whatever, the salt content's ridiculous. So you got to be really careful about that as well.
All right, we're going to go right back to the phone. Salads, we're talking 866-391-1020. Let's go to Pat in Economy on KDK's Coons Cooking Hour. Hey, Pat.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. This recipe came to me, such a timely thing, when I ripped off my calendar for June. On the back was this recipe for dilly ranch chicken pasta salad. And my dill is growing nicely in a container, and I'm always looking for some way to use it. Anyway, you take 8 ounces of rotini pasta or any other shape of your choice, and you cook it to your desired doneness and add a tablespoon of olive oil and mix it in and set it aside temporarily. Then take a medium cucumber and slice it into half-inch slices and then quarter them. You take 8 ounces of a grilled chicken breast, and it just happened that I made a chicken on the 4th of July, always looking for how to make something with the breasts after I eat the legs. But anyway, so you use the grilled chicken breast and you slice it into half-inch, strips, and a quarter cup of diced red onion, and salt and pepper to taste. And for the dressing, you take a cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped dill, 1 tablespoon of dry ranch dressing mix, and mix that with 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk. Mix it into your pasta mixture, and then refrigerate it for at least an hour. And then you can garnish it with small additional dill sprigs. It makes 4 to 6 servings. I'm making it today for the first time, but it sounded good to me. So
It sounds very good. And dill really adds a lot to something, you know.
I know, and it's like you buy the plant, and then if you don't use it, it'll go to seed. So I was really looking for some way to use some of this dill because I love it. So
good
stuff. Yeah,
stuff.
definitely. I know we were looking at different types of chicken salad and doing flavors, and someone told us about a friend of theirs who puts dill inside their chicken salad, and it's something I got to try because this sounds different. Anything with a mayonnaise base, and like I like that cucumber salad, like a creamy cucumber salad with the dill in there. And it reminds me back to my childhood. My friend, they were Iranian, and they would eat a lot of homemade yogurts and stuff, and bringing that dill into that cucumber, that almost like a tzatziki sauce, and having that dill in there just brings back a lot of memories.
All right, good stuff. I think our boss, Jody Zima, would love me to say this, and I know you would too. Wingstop is now open down there on Banksville in our little plaza. So that's
it's good. It's coming along. So you got your pizza down the end. You have Jets Pizza down the end. You have the Wingstop, and then all of our delicious foods along with it, where you can get some sides or whatever, and it all ties together. That's what we always look for, is everything to kind of tie together and make sure that everyone, like both sides, like my dad used to say, but when a deal works for both sides, it's the same thing. The whole plaza ties together and brings just kind of works.
I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to sell so many wings down there. That plaza.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
definitely.
You could have a police officer direct traffic at that place. I love it. I mean, there's people coming in and out of there all day because.
Well, even that Starbucks is one of the tops in the area for the sit-down Starbucks.
Listen, I just realized I could rent one of those offices out. I could live there. Grocery store, Starbucks, Wingstop.
Yeah, you would never need to leave.
No, I'd be good to go. And I got the little bar down there.
There's even an accounting service upstairs so you can get your taxes done, so you wouldn't have to go.
I'll be good. But listen, Wingstop, Rick Ross, the musician out of Atlanta, kind of behind the brand, started it. It's a global phenomenon, but it's now open in that Coons Market, Banksville Road Plaza. So if you're looking for some good wings, anytime, get down there and enjoy. All right, here we go. Let's say hi to John in Washington. Wants to talk Caesar salad on the Coons Cooking Hour. Hey, John.
Good morning. Here's my version of Caesar salad. You get one head of romaine lettuce, leaves separated, one lightly beaten egg, 2 crushed garlic cloves, 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, half cup olive oil, 4 anchovies drained and chopped, 2 hard-boiled eggs peeled and quartered, half cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. What you do is you rinse the lettuce and dry them out and wrap them in paper towels, refrigerated for several hours to crisp up the leaves. Whisk the raw egg, garlic, lemon juice, and oil together and pour to the bottom of a large salad bowl. Then you add the lettuce, the anchovies, the hard-boiled eggs, toss them thoroughly with the dressing. Then you add the cheese and toss again. And you sprinkle your garlic croutons on, and you're good to go. And it's a wonderful salad, is all I can say.
Wonderful and great, and imagine what cheese actually adds to how much that salad. You take the cheese away, and you're like, it doesn't have the same flavor.
John, thank you. Always good hearing from you. Hey, we're going to get to Diane Valencia, and we got another call coming in, but we love to hear from you. Frank, just go over some of the great specials as you conclude your holiday weekend. Still plenty of time to go picnicking today. All of our Coons Market locations are open. And don't forget, over 600 varieties of your favorite beers, microbrews, craft beers, great wine selection, McKnight Road, Banksville Road. But this is just the start of a whole lot of picnics in this region. It's summertime in the great region that is Western Pennsylvania, and here are some of the specials available right now through Tuesday at Coons Market. Frank.
Yeah, I'd recommend stopping out and getting some more of the boneless, skinless chicken tenders. We have them $2.99 a pound, which is an incredible deal. You can never have too much ketchup. Even Rob knows he stocked up 3 in the fridge. He probably brought the 3 limit. We have $2.99 on a 38-ounce bottle here at the stores. And then your whole seedless watermelons, $3.99 each. Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese, 2 for $5. We still have some pork baby back ribs at $3.49 a pound. And you stop in our deli department, which is what I did the other day, and picked up some Coons ham barbecue. Get some nice fresh buns. I picked up some Mancini rolls. You can get some nice rolls inside our bakery as well. Just make sure it's a nice crusty roll. The club rolls work out great, or the Italian rolls from Breadworks, one of those too. and just throw that ham barbecue, heat it up, throw it on that bun. It's absolutely delicious. And, you know, French's mustard, we got $1.99. So we have all your condiments still ready. I know people have been partying all weekend. I saw more fireworks yesterday than into the 4th of July. And in Schwabel's, we have the hamburger hot dog buns, 2 for $5. And don't forget, pick up some ice cream. But while you're there getting some ice cream, don't forget to get some Keebler ice cream cones or the bowls. Make your own ice cream cone. Yeah,
Keebler.
Don't just eat the ice cream. Put it in a cone, that nice cake cone, or put it in the bowl, and you get to enjoy the cone right afterwards.
I'll tell you, this is when you knew you were young and life was good. Midnight, no school, off for the summer. You'd go into the kitchen, everybody else would be asleep, and you'd go in and you get that half-full, half-gallon of ice cream in a tablespoon, and just stand over the sink and finish it.
There you go.
Oh, man. And
Hershey's syrup on top.
Yeah, have a can of Ready Whip, just kind of a couple of squirts in the container. Oh, man. Listen, I'm not kidding you. There were times that I ate like a gallon of ice cream in a sitting. I mean,
That's a lot of ice cream. That's a big ice cream headache.
I know. Back in the day, but it was a good headache. All right, short break. We'll come back. Couple of more calls. Next hour, Greater Pitt Tree Service, large tree removal and treatment with Carlos McClintock.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
The Shindig Charity Music Festival, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at Union Brothers Brewing in Harmony. 18 bands over 3 days.
Proceeds benefit local first responders and Northwood Charitable Foundation. Car show Friday night, craft and vendor show Saturday, first responder demonstration Sunday.
Single day tickets, weekender tickets, and weekender tickets for Keg and Eggs starting at 9:30 a.m.
Surprise guests, amazing raffle prizes, great food and brews. Bring your own lawn chair and a non-perishable food item donation.
Tickets also available at the door. Get your details at theshindigmusicfestival.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick Seminar's early bird special, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminars Wednesday, July 23rd, Hilton Garden in Cranberry Township, or Thursday, July 24th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh, Weston Green Tree. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh announces its 25-26 season at Heinz Hall. 7 events will broaden your perspective and deepen your understanding of the world around you. Featuring Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, and National Geographic photographer Christina Mittermeier. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I do want to remind you today, coming up on the Coons Market, of course, Black and Gold Sunday show, all of the Steeler moves of late. We're going to talk to the head football coach at Duquesne University, Jerry Schmidt, and Wimbledon heading into week number 2. What does it take to become an actual pro in the world of tennis? A place that has put a lot of people in pro sports, young people who have turned out to be Hall of Famers in all sports, but especially tennis. IMG Academy in Florida, and their former Pitt baseball coach is now a part of that administration down there, Joe Giordano. He'll drop by as well. Plus, we've got some other stuff, including our Pittsburgh Pirates to talk about. That's all coming up within just a little over 2 hours from right now on KDKA. All right, here's Diane in Valencia. Diane, good morning, and thanks for calling back KDKA. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How is everyone this morning?
Good.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah, this is... You're talking my love. I love salads. And the one I have to say, you don't see much of, and I think it's just because it does take a little bit of extra time, is a hot German potato salad. And, you'll need about 9 medium potatoes. I prefer to use the red. 6 slices of bacon, but, with the Sugardale 6-slice bacon that's on sale this week, make up the whole package, and you can have BLTs for the rest of the week and put it on your other salads. You'll need about 3/4 cup of chopped onion, 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed, dash of pepper, 3/4 cup of water, 1/3 cup of vinegar. White vinegar is what I prefer. Grab some brats there to add as your little bit of a garnition, and 2 tablespoons of shortening. With the potatoes, I like to slice them about 1/4 inch thick on a mandolin, or hand is fine. Cook your potatoes to about 30 to 35 minutes, just until tender, so you got to really watch them. Fry your bacon. If you fry it in a skillet, make sure, everybody's so quick, you got to save those drippings. That's the key piece to this, right? Then you're going to fry your onions up in those bacon drippings until they're translucent or brown. And then you're going to blend in your flour, sugar, salt, celery seed, and pepper. Cook that over low heat, stirring until the mixture is bubbly. Remove from the heat, stir in the water and the vinegar. Heat to a boiling, stirring constantly, and boil for about a minute. You're going to mix that over the potatoes and add in your crumbled bacon, carefully stirring in that bacon. And like I said, if you get some brats, slice those up and pan fry them. You can add that as your garnish, and you're set to go. And if you make the bacon in the oven on the aluminum foil, make sure you change it out each time and use that aluminum foil to help pour those drippings into a measuring cup so they don't lose them. But you need to change out your aluminum foil each time so you don't get too much of a charred effect.
Yeah, it's some great tips there. And yeah, using that bacon, that drippings is that gives that's where the flavor is sitting. You're gonna get more flavor out of it using that, and get that real authentic taste to the dressing on those potatoes. Well, that sounds like a great recipe, though.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about something going bad. You can also put it in a crock pot, and it's not all that bad at room temperature either. So yeah, great show today.
Yeah, I
love salads.
I've had it both ways. I've even if you're short on time, you can also probably use the canned potatoes and that kind of stuff. It all depends on your time as well, depending on your level of cooking.
Yeah.
Hey, Diane, thanks. We always love hearing from you. Have a great week, okay?
You too, guys. God bless. Thank you.
All right, God bless. Marlene, I've got 2 minutes, and it's all yours. Welcome to the Coons Cooking Hour.
Okay, I used to be a manager for Dr. Shufo. I was always looking for ways to, how that was. If you go and you take your bread, I love sourdough, and you put it in the freezer, and then you take it out and you warm it, toast it, whatever, you do not absorb those carbs. It's called starch resistance.
Oh.
So you do that with potatoes, too. I love sweet potatoes. I make a whole pot. I either make them in the oven or on stove, put them in the refrigerator, heat them up the next day or 2 or 3, and there they are. The carbs do not get into your system. It's starch resistant. So good luck with that.
Another tip.
Thank you very much. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, listen, a couple of more specials underway for this as we continue the 4th of July holiday celebration in one of your Coons markets. Go ahead, Frank. What do you got?
For specials this week, we got all kinds of good stuff.
Give me a couple.
Well, you know what? Here at Banksville and our McKnight store, we have some malt beverage that's on sale. And two that I haven't heard of, but I want to bring them out. Maybe there's a lot of people that do hear from that. Press Hard Cider, there's selected varieties of that. The 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, $16.99. And a variety pack of Cinderland Squish. I don't know what that is, honestly, but it sounds interesting.
It sounds interesting.
It really does. And there's a 12-pack, 12-ounce cans for $18.99. So if you know of Cinderlands, this is a great place to find a nice deal on that and do your shopping. One-stop shop, then pick it up, and you have everything you need.
Coming back, we'll draw this week's winner. Then next hour, it's all about large tree removal and treatment. Greater Pitt Tree Service. Carlos McClintock. If you want to line up with all of those tree-related questions early, feel free. Rob is back with that 9 o'clock news as well. But when we come back, we'll draw this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. That special place in your neighborhood. Coons Market, your neighborhood grocer. Coons Market. A Pittsburgh tradition. Our winner is coming up next on KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richert.
Joining us from New York, CBS's Dave Rosenbaum. And a lot of people assuming Combs would get convicted of something more serious.
Did not find that he was guilty of RICO charges, but did find that he was guilty of the Mann Act, which is anytime you're funding prostitution across state lines.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
How would you like to go to the beach or pool feeling comfortable without wearing a cover-up this summer? How would you like to be in front of pictures instead of hiding behind people in the back where only your head pops up? How would you like your doctors to tell you how proud they are of your weight loss? How would you like to fit into clothes that haven't fit in years? How would you like to have such self-esteem and self-confidence that you are beyond happy? Yes, yes, and yes. Let's make all these things happen. Call me, Dr. Shufo, at 1-800-900-THIN.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
This is certified elder law attorney Julian Gray, and I've been helping Pittsburghers for 30 years navigating the legal issues surrounding aging. Get ready for your retirement years and what lies ahead with a no-obligation consultation. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Man, what a show we still have to come today, including Greater Pitt Tree Service next hour, accurate solutions, and a jam-packed guest star-studded Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. But right now, we just moments ago drawed a winning name in that contest of taking home a $25 gift certificate. We do it every week. You have to call in with a recipe, then we pick somebody's name at random. And this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate, courtesy of Coons Market, is...
This week's winner is Pat in Economy.
Pat in Economy, congratulations to you. I saw something earlier today. We have a little bit of time left. And it said, nothing like the smell of Sunday sauce.
Oh, As soon as you say that, I can just, that aroma just comes right to my memory.
Listen, if you folks are going shopping at Coons Market today, you may see me, but I just love going to the stores. But Sundays are a great day to go to the stores. They're just, I don't know, there's something about it, especially like early
something
on.
in the air,
Because
if you go right before church was letting out, in between masses.
Everybody's going home to cook Sunday sauce. But think about the pasta al at Coons Market. I mean, we know the Giarusas and the Del Checos, but I mean, Del Grosso, it just goes on and on and on. There's something for everyone's palate.
Every variety you can possibly imagine, along with the sauces to go along with it, and the ingredients to make those sauces if you go and make your own. If you don't have any fresh tomatoes to use, you got the whole tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, the peeled tomatoes, right. Everything you'd ever possibly want.
And nothing like those pots bubbling with the sauce.
And we even sell the pots to make the sauce.
Absolutely. And the meatballs bobbing up and down. All right, Frank, have a great week. Stay with us. We've got Rob next with the news. And then large tree removal and care. We do it all on a Sunday morning. Carlos McClintock, Greater Pitt Tree Service. It's 9 o'clock. Rob's next.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 77 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. One man is dead. 2 others are in the hospital after a shooting that took place in Somerset County. Shooting happened early Saturday morning around 1 o'clock on Crestview Drive in Somerset Township for a reported domestic disturbance. Police say a 23-year-old man shot 2 people, a 24-year-old man and a 24-year-old woman, before the 23-year-old apparently shot himself. He died at the scene. The other 2 who were shot were transported to the hospital. No word on their conditions. Police believe the 23-year-old man was the ex-boyfriend of the 24-year-old female. Shooting incident is under investigation. A confrontation over fireworks led to a man being shot in Beaver Falls. Police say on Friday night, 47-year-old man confronted a 20-year-old man after the 20-year-old allegedly threw fireworks in the direction of children. This happened on 12th Street around 10:15 p.m. 20-year-old man identified as Jaden Stoll of Beaver Falls, then allegedly shot the 47-year-old before being tackled by the victim. That 47-year-old man, unidentified, was transported to the hospital in stable condition. Meanwhile, Stoll is facing charges including aggravated assault, recklessly endangering another person, and a firearm violation. Well, fireworks are to blame, officials say, for a number of structure fires in the past few days. A fire broke out in McKeesport inside a home in the 2500 block of Cleveland Street. No injuries. In Forest Hills, a resident in the 100 block of Park Ridge Place was the scene of a fire with major damage reported. Also in Swissvale, 7500 block of Ellesmere Street, a firefighter suffered a leg injury while battling a fireworks-related fire there. And on Woodland Drive in Kennedy Township, a fire was confirmed there with a firefighter taken to the hospital for an issue that was non-fire related. KDK Radio News Time is 9:03. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRAFFIC25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code TRAFFIC25.
Burn by Rocky Patel is raising a glass to you, their locker members. Join them for an exclusive locker member appreciation night, Wednesday, Wednesday, July 9th at 7 p.m. at their North Shore location. Enjoy 40% off the Wish, 20% off Don Julio, and 20% off your favorite Rocky Patel cigars, all in celebration of their most loyal patrons. It's Burn by Rocky Patel's way of saying thank you for being part of the Burn family. They'll see you there July 9th at 7 p.m. only at Burn by Rocky Patel on the North Shore.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a hot, humid, and sunny end to the long holiday weekend with a high of 92, then clear much of the time tonight with a low of 70. Sun gives way to clouds tomorrow with afternoon showers and a thunderstorm, high 89. With sun and clouds for Tuesday, another thunder shower for some and a high of 84. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, when I'm out and about, people will say to me, what do you like about Pittsburgh? Why have you been at KDKA for 40 plus years? Why have you never moved? What is it with you in Western Pennsylvania? It's because of the people and the work ethic and the tradition and the heritage and all the traditions. And this guy fills the bill in every one of those categories. He's Carlos McClintock, Greater Pitt Tree Service, and anytime he jumps on the line with us, it's a golden opportunity to get free advice when it comes to those precious trees that decorate your landscape. So today we're talking about large tree removal and care. Treatment. And if you have any questions, now would be the time to get on the line because it's 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. And to call them and leave your information, you can do it as the show rolls on. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Carlos, this news of this Texas flooding and all the things that are happening, I opened up my show today and I said, in my lifetime, and I'm a little bit older than you, I've never seen so many bizarre weather patterns. And what it's doing, it's changing the course as far as landscaping is concerned. Tragically, people losing their lives. But we have complete, like, acres of property being swept away or, trees being torn up. And I continue to drive throughout Western Pennsylvania. Two things I noticed: lots of road construction and a number of trees that literally are hanging over guardrails. And if you're not paying attention, some of them are just inches from actually being in traffic. So your business right now is more important than ever before. Good morning.
Yeah, those are all great points. And first of all, I want to wish all the listeners a happy holiday weekend, 4th of July, a great holiday for, all of us Americans. And we were lucky Friday to be down at McGee Field in Greenfield. We sponsored the 4th of July races that has been going on for, 70 or 80 years, I think. I grew up as a kid going down there, and it was awesome to see everybody from the neighborhood. But, yeah, the tree, the landscape right now it keeps changing from these large, violent storms that sweep across our areas. There's not the buffer anymore of all these trees that were there previously, and these storms just keep knocking them out, here and there, and it allows these storms to gain strength and come at us a little more violent than we've been used to.
All right, so Carlos is here from Greater Pitt Tree Service. He'd love to hear from you. Any question, and it doesn't have to be about large trees. It can be about anything concerning trees. Call us at 866-391-1020. So, did a little homework before you showed up today, Carlos, so let's get going. When is tree removal necessary?
The reason I wanted to talk about this topic, I was out in Oakmont the other day, which we're a member of the Chamber of Commerce in Oakmont. We sponsor the street summer sale. We're there at the Christmas parade, Halloween. We're very active over there. Great little town. No really chains over there. It's all local businesses and restaurants. So I love Oakmont. So a homeowner called us, and I went out and showed, beautiful house out there, and just these massive oak trees right next to the house, and they lost a huge limb. It wasn't in a storm. It wasn't lightning. It just came down. You know, the gravity and physics take over sometimes on these mature trees that are kind of decaying. And luckily it fell parallel to our house. But I mean, it was like a tree itself that fell. That's how big our trees are. So she called us, and she's just, you know, it's time to get these trees out of here. They've outgrown their coverage area. They're in a declining state. Usually somewhere down the road, somebody trimmed them improperly, a homeowner or a company that wasn't knowledgeable on proper pruning techniques. So there's a lot of factors that contribute to the shelf life of yard trees being only about, 50 to 80 years old, where they're more problematic than beneficial now on your property.
They are more beneficial now than ever before. So dead or dying trees may need to be removed. And again, by me looking at a tree, I see one thing, and obviously I'm not the professional, but you are and Troy is. So what do you look for, or what should I look for, at least to pick up the phone and make a call to you? Carlos.
Yeah, the first visual things on a mature tree would be the top canopy. Is it healthy? Do you see an extensive amount of dead up there? Because when a tree's getting dead up in the top canopy, that's showing us that it's having a hard time pulling its growth through the root system, up through the trunk, supporting the lower leaves and branches, and then not being able to get up to the top. That's really the first thing we're looking at. And then we kind of walk around the tree and do some inspection around the trunk of the tree, the ground around it, what's the base look like? Are there any mushrooms growing up from the ground? That's a sign that the root system could be decaying underground. So if you're walking around your yard and you're just seeing mushrooms and you think, oh, wow, this is great, I got mushrooms growing in my yard. No, it's not. That's a sign that root system, which the root system will extend out to the drip line of the tree. So they stretch out from the trunk as far as the top branches droop over the yard. So if you're seeing mushrooms, 10, 15, 20 feet from the base of the tree, that's alarming because that's coming up off of the root system that's going to be decaying underground. So a lot of things that we look for. Troy comes out with his checklist, and, he's going to give you an assessment. We're going to play devil's advocate. We're not out there pressure sales or out there just haphazardly cutting down trees that, might be beneficial still. So we give you all the information and kind of let you make the decision.
All right. Again, our number, if you have any tree-related questions, call us now. Free advice, just a phone call away on a Sunday morning. Lots of summer ahead, so you can get some of these things answered and get on your way and enjoy some of that outdoor living space. So number is 866-391-1020. He's Carlos from Greenfield, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgher through and through, who would love to help you. Greater Pitt Tree Service, 866-391-1020. Now, here's a perplexing question. You got a garden, or you got the swimming pool, or you got your sunbathing deck by the pool or patio, and this massive tree is just blocking all your sunlight. But it's a healthy tree. But you still, hey, I got to have the sunlight for my garden. Things need to grow. Somebody says to you, will you just remove this tree because it's just taking up too much sunlight? What do you say to that?
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of our trimming or removal of trees or branches are kind of circumstantial. Most trees aren't meant to really be trimmed or cut on. They're meant to be planted and left alone, barring fruit-bearing trees that need like a nice pruning, and the oak trees. But, we're removing large branches or taking the top off a tree because that homeowner wants to enjoy his yard and wants to enjoy the pool and the sunlight, and we get it. So we try to marry those three things that, we're out there trying to do. We're trying to practice proper pruning techniques. We're trying to achieve the homeowner's objective. And then we're trying to end up with something aesthetically pleasing. And sometimes there's a little bit of compromise in one or all three of those. So we do the best we can. We, try to work in the parameters of, just the, keeping the aesthetics of your property, because these trees are beautiful, and then you hack a hole out of them, and then it's like, man, I wish I wouldn't have did that. So we kind of get ahead of that and let you know, like, hey, the tree might not look as good, or there's going to be a transition period. So we just try to manage expectations as much as we can.
All right, he's Carlos. I'm Rob. This is Greater Pitt Tree Service. Pittsburgh Works. Their number is 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. And our number to talk to Carlos, 866-391-1020. And Mary Jane in Gibsonia, Birch Tree, is on her mind. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, my question for Carlos is this. My son actually moved to the city. He's in Shadyside now, and he has an overgrown birch tree in the front yard, accessible easily to the street. But one of the parts of the birch tree is going to hit a power line, and the other part of the birch tree is going to it's extending over the neighbor's property because the properties are so close. Is it an appropriate time in the summer to prune that birch tree? It's very healthy.
Yeah, it's a great question, and those birch trees kind of go out in like 2 to 4 different leads, and in that area in Shadyside, yeah, one or all those leads is going to come up against something where it's time to trim them back. It's the middle of July, it's very dry out. We might want to wait till later in the fall, early fall to do that. We can do it any time of year, of course, but it would be able to sustain it, but we kind of like to steer away from doing any major trimming right now because of the heat.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. And he has also a dogwood tree in the front that's also very healthy, but there's a few branches that need trimmed, and it needs trimmed away from the porch roof line also. So that would be the same there too. It might be better to wait until the fall.
Yeah, especially the dogwood. I could see doing the birch now if you're taking one of those large leads, out or reducing it heavily. I wouldn't have a problem doing the birch. The dogwood, I would definitely wait in the fall for that because they're a beautiful tree. It's probably mature if it's been in Shadyside, an older house. It's probably been there a while. Or even if you just plant it. Either way, on the dogwood, excuse me, I would err on the side of caution and wait till into the fall to trim the dogwood.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mary Jo.
All right, good stuff. We appreciate you. Anybody else wants to get in here for Carlos? 866-391-1020. We are talking large tree removal, treatment, and care, but whatever is on your mind, even birch trees, we can handle it. 866-391-1020. Their number at the office where you can call right now and leave your information. They will get back to you. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Carlos and your Pratt Pack today, Greater Pitt Tree Service. Get those calls in. 866-391-1020.
Your source for the AccuWeather forecast. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
I'm with Rocco Florio of Air Pro Heating and Cooling, a trusted HVAC company that carries quality Bryant products and serves the entire Pittsburgh area. Rocco, what's up on prices for furnaces and air conditioning equipment?
Larry, it's best for people to purchase now, as equipment prices are going up in the coming months. AirPro takes pride in our prices. We are lower than the competition and provide financing options and long warranties.
Call AirPro Heating and Cooling today at 800-749-0642. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special, only $49.99. That's right. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. Also lose all the weight and let Mark Patrick hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Wednesday, July 23rd, Hilton Garden in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township, or Thursday, July 24th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Pittsburgh West in Greentree. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, so it's Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. If you have a question about large tree removal or anything to do with those large trees or any trees, you get free advice. We're just a phone call away, so call us, 866-391-1020. You know, you need to call a certified arborist, and someone like yourself, Carlos, or Troy, obviously, the arborist. And I know a lot of people want to save a few bucks. I get it. Been there, done that. But DIY, especially when it comes to large trees, we really kind of discourage that, do we not?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of science that goes in, that's involved with taking care of these trees, and especially large mature trees on your property. You know, Troy Lampenfeld, he's gone to college and it just does so much training and updated certifications. And, you know, when he comes out, it's the real deal. Like, we know what we're talking about. And listen, there's a price attached to that. You know, if you want a good doctor, it's going to cost you. If you want anything good, you're paying for service. You know, our price has a lot of things attached to it. And that actually reminds me of the home out in Oakmont that we're removing a couple big trees in a few weeks. We had gone out there, Troy had gone out there and looked at their oak trees and priced them, and we never heard back from them. And so this large lead falls, and they call us back to come out. And I said, well, why didn't you use us, you know, when we gave you the price for the trimming? And so I was like, well, you were a little bit higher. And I look up at the oak tree that this company trimmed. Oh, my God, they butchered it. They lion-tailed it, which they stripped all the foliage off all the stems, exposing the main trunk to get scorched out this time of year with the excessive sunlight. They didn't even get up to the tips where a good portion of the dead was that she was concerned about. So now the tree's still susceptible to maybe oak wilt disease because it has so much extensive dead left in it. They scorched it out, and I'm telling her, I'm like, you know, we had a better game plan, and your tree would have, she's probably going to have to remove that tree. This one sits a little further back on her property, not close to the house like the large one that lost a branch. But, yeah, I mean, look, you get what you pay for, and you get no more or no less. You get exactly what you pay for in any type of product or service.
And, you know, here I was just thinking when you were talking, you know, another reason why you need to call Greater Pitt Tree Service, if you get the tree down successfully and you're worried about money, well, last time I checked, healthcare is going up too. Believe me, a week in the hospital or two or to fix a broken bone is going to cost you a lot more than calling Carlos, plus downtime from your job, and also could be a matter of life and death. So you got to look at the big picture. But here's the other thing, how my brain never stops. Once you get all these branches and this tree trunk and this massive, just big pile of wood, what are you going to do with it? Another thing that you guys do that people don't realize, you get all that debris out of there. I mean, that's another job within itself.
Yeah, it is. It is actually two jobs. We have to get the tree down safely, and then we have to get it to an exit point on your property, process it, haul it off. We have a cost associated with that. In dumping the material, we take it to wood waste recycling facilities around the area. There's several, and they charge us to dump it. So, you know, you can cut your tree down, but guess what? You still got it still in your yard.
Yeah.
You know, you've only done half the job. And now a lot of times people will do that, and they'll cut it into like a million tiny pieces and then call us. And I'm like, I could have came in here with my machines and took this tree out in 3 trips. Now you got me in and out of your yard 30 times. Guess what? It's going to cost you more because I'm here longer. So, you know, just paint the bathrooms, you know, paint the kitchens, things like that the average homeowner can handle. But tree work, you know, it's dangerous. It opens you up to a lot of things that you might not have planned on having happen to you.
Well, you know, we were just talking about my father off the air. It'll be 25 years ago since my dad died. And let me make a comparison here. Everything always seems to work out when you're having a conversation. I remember one Christmas, my dad wanted to save a few bucks, Carlos. He said, let's take that Scotch pine down at the end of the driveway and we'll bring it in the house because it's blocking the vision to get on the highway. Well, you know what happened. We cut the thing down and we tried to get it in the house. Well, outside it looks small, inside it's not. It's these big trees in your backyard. You think once you get them on the ground, you chop them down to size. But once they get on your ground, you realize there's no backyard left because they're actually knocking on your back door. That's how big these trees are. I don't think people understand, unless you do this every day, what a massive responsibility and job it is to be a professional doing what you do and the folks at Greater Pitt Tree Service. Carlos.
Yes, for sure. I tell people, like, yeah, the tree looks big, you know, it's tall. Once it's on the ground, it seems like it takes up twice that space. You know, it consumes a lot of that area that you think you might have only had, you know, brought it down. It's not too bad. Now it's on the ground. You're like, geez, what do I do now? But, hey, you know, I give credit to Pittsburghers. They give it the old college try for sure. But all in all, it's just better to call a professional. This is what we do. This is really all I've ever done. My guys are very good at what they do. They've all been with me for years. We're a safety-first company. We have millions of dollars in equipment to come out there and be efficient. We're safe. We're productive. You know, this is our industry. This is what we do. So give us a call.
All right. So let me ask you this, and I've been thinking about this as I've been spending a little bit more outdoors doing some yard work and cutting grass this summer. And I think the guy who lived there before me, the family put too much in the backyard. Some of it just has to be removed because it's just so overwhelming. Do you ever get somebody call you and say, you know, we're moving on this property and you need to thin out the herd? We just have way too much big bushes, big branches, big trees close together, touching power lines, filling up our gutters. Do you ever just go in and do like a surgical remove and clean things up so the rest of the stuff that should be healthy, wealthy, and wise and is not becoming a problem as far as maneuvering, just to give people more breathing room? Do you do that too?
Yeah, that's a very popular call for us. It's one of our top calls. It's from a new homeowner that just moved into a property. The previous homeowner might have over-landscaped. And now you're moving in and you're not really sure what's good, what's bad, what's healthy, what's not. You know, you're not very partial to most of the things because you didn't plan them. And that's a very popular call for us. So we come out and kind of go through and identify what's on your property, let you know the maintenance you should expect on those type of things on your property over the years. Or is it better just to get it out and start over with something new that now you can watch grow? Now you're going to have that attachment to it. And it's a lot of maintenance involved with plants and shrubs and trees on your property that you don't really realize till you move into these homes. And it seems like a lot of the younger generation, they don't really want that type of maintenance on the property. They're more linear in their thought process, and that's when we come out and just kind of remove everything and then let them assess it. You know, you're going to be in the home for a while and figure out, take a walk around your neighborhood, see what you like, see what color scheme you like, see what you know, how big of a tree you want to end up with, because everybody plants everything. They come in a little bucket or, you know, a pouch, and it looks great. And then 20 or 30 years later, you're hacking on it. You planted it too close to the house. The roots are getting into the sewage line. So be very, you know, look at the full-grown picture of what you're planting. Turn that page in the book and look at it when it's full-grown, and then picture it on your property and where you want to put it.
All right, so Carlos is here from Greater Pitt Tree Service, but a little audience participation. It's absolutely a free call, toll-free, 866-391-1020. And if you have any tree-related questions, no matter what the tree is, size, shape, make, model, we want to hear from you. But if you don't, I got lots of good stuff for Carlos, so stay with us. We'd love to have you with us until 10 o'clock. Then it's Accurate Solutions. And then today, what a Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show your Pratt Pack has prepared for you. Jerry Schmidt, head football coach Duquesne, talking about some of the Steelers' move as training camp is less than a month away. Lots of Pirate baseball to get to. Wimbledon, what does it take to become a pro in the sport of tennis? Well, a place that has produced a lot of Hall of Famers, IMG Academy in Florida. My good friend Joe Giordano, former baseball coach at Pitt, will drop by as well. Stay with us. Your Pratt Pack till 1 on KDKA.
Here's Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan's Fan About Town. Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Burgh with 6 Pittsburgh locations, always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. New York style, yins are made. Sliceonbroadway.com. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. If you're over 60 and looking for a weight loss program built specifically for you, Awaken 180 is your solution with Awaken 180 Golden, a new 1 to 3 month program for fast weight loss tailored to those over 60. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. For more information, visit 937thefan.com.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It is 78 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A little girl is recovering after witnesses say she was hit by one of the participants in the Canonsburg 4th of July parade. A woman who was also struck tells KDKA-TV when she and her family were watching the parade, one of the Shriners lost control of their motorbike while trying to avoid a parade staff member who was in the parade route. And as they swerved, they ended up in the path of the woman's family, running over her foot and hitting the little girl in front of her. The woman told KDKA-TV it happened very fast.
We ended up calling 911, my sister did. They came over. We were all trying to apply pressure to her head because she was bleeding. Paramedics came over. They did end up taking her to the hospital. Then they came over, they looked at my foot. They were trying to get me to go to the hospital. I wouldn't.
In a post on social media, the little girl's mother says she's received treatment and is expected to be okay. Well, good news for the not-so-chiseled men. Here's CBS's Stacey Lynn.
Dad bods are in. According to a study by the Chinese Academy of Sciences, that softer, doughy physique is the body type women find most attractive in men. The researchers say one of the reasons they found the ladies don't mind their men foregoing a six-pack and drinking one instead has to do with evolution. They say body fat is linked closely to testosterone levels and is therefore a better indicator of their reproductive fitness. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
KDK Radio News Time, 9:31. Next update's at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDK.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. If that's our us a ring, call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Jumpin' July specials at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Heinz Ketchup, 38-ounce bottles, $2.99 each. Whole seedless watermelons, $3.99 each. And fresh boneless chicken tenders are $2.99 a pound. Additional savings in our meat department. All natural pork baby back ribs, $3.49 a pound. And farm-raised fresh salmon steaks, $10.99 a pound. In our produce department, fresh southern sweet corn, $3.99 a dozen. And sweet Northwest cherries are $1.99 a pound. In our deli department, steakhouse-style baked potato salad, $5.49 a pound. And old-time oven-roasted turkey breast is $8.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Bush's baked beans, 21 to 28-ounce cans, 2 for $5.
So get in for all the great savings underway right now at one of your locally owned and independently operated Coons Markets. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on CoonsMarket.com. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Expect a sunny, hot, and humid day today on the way to a high of 92, then just some clouds around tonight with a low of 70. Tomorrow brings sunshine giving way to clouds. Watch for afternoon showers and a thunderstorm with a high of 89. Then a humid and less warm day for Tuesday with a thundershower in spots and a high of 84. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, Carlos is here. We're in the home stretch. Normally the phones get busy right now up until 10 o'clock. So if you have any questions about your trees, you need help, give us a call right now. All of our lines are open, immediate access. You were just a phone call away, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. And if you'd like to meet Carlos and Troy and the crew at Greater Pitt Tree Service to help you, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. You know, the lantern flies and the stink bugs and all the insects and infestations we've been talking about for years. Let's talk about your health care, your plant tree health care, and why people need to sign up and how it can prevent a whole lot of damage and actually prevent you maybe from removing that tree that you love so much. Talk about that, Carlos, please.
Yes, we're doing so well with our plant healthcare division, spearheaded by Troy Lampenfeld. He's our ISA certified arborist. And there's going to be something on your property that you need to address maintenance-wise. And that's where we come in. We could come in and tell you, you know, your boxwoods are suffering, the hedges, a lot of those are browning up. They have something affecting them. We have an application for that. You might have, the lantern flies on your property. Well, we can also spray for that. You got mature trees in your yard. We have deep root fertilization, root collar excavation, kind of decompacts that hard soil that you might see in your yard that's making it a little difficult for the rain to kind of seep through, where your trees aren't pulling the optimal amount of water through them because the soil's so hard. We come out with a compressor with an air spade and blow that area all off the top soil off around the root system, and then we start over with some fresh product on it to kind of aerate it and get the tree a little healthier. So there's so much on your property that we have applications for, and Troy comes out, does an assessment of your property, lets you know what time of year you might have to do this and when you should do that. Maybe everything's healthy on your property and you don't have to do anything, but at least get us out there. Let us get you the data, the information, get you the price sheet. You know, sometimes we'll sign you up for a yearly contract where we just come out when we know we have to come out for certain things on your property, and we charge you accordingly. And it's minimal. It kind of keeps you away from those big ticket items and removing these large trees. Some of our large tree removals are $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 sometimes because you didn't take care of the tree. And it's like anything else. You don't put that new filter in your air conditioning or your furnace. Guess what? you're spending $5 or $6 grand when you could have spent maybe $50 on a filter. So it's very similar to that.
Something else, you were talking about the family in Oakmont. Let somebody else do the job and how they really kind of did a very bad job, to be perfectly honest. It's going to cost them more problems in the long run. So people, why do you think they should simply avoid some of these practices like topping trees or using spikes for pruning? Talk about that a little bit, Carlos.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, you're going to get what you pay for. I think this company didn't have we have a spider lift that we can drive into your yard. It's on tracks, and it goes up 100 feet. So now, without that, you can't really access that top dead. You can only climb so high in these canopies before the branches get too thin where they can't support a climber. So now we're on the exterior of the tree in our spider lift, and we're booming up. We're circumnavigating the tree. We're getting all the dead out of there. We're not spiking it. If we can't get our lift to the tree, we free climb it. We ascend up into the tree, pulling himself up on his rope, a little mechanical device that he uses. So doesn't have the gaffs on, and he's not spiking the tree. We use the gaffs and spike when we're removing it, because it's an easier process for a climber to ascend up in a tree with the spikes on. But trimming and pruning, you never want to wear spikes. And these are all the things, again, that are attached to our price. We've been doing it a long time. We're very knowledgeable. We have Troy on board now. He comes out after he sells your job, he'll come out and instruct the crew accordingly. We really want to make sure that we're doing everything right. We want a happy client. We want you to use us again in the future. We want your neighbors' work. So we're perfectionists out there when you hire us.
All right, we're going to get to the phones now. Let's say hi to Frank. Anybody else wants to get in here before the top of the hour? Now's the time to call. Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service, 866-391-1020. Frank in Hempfield. How are you, Frank?
Well, I could be better after talking about this, but I'm executor of my sister's estate, and I wish I wasn't. But here's the problem. Next door to my sister's, young guy was busted for drugs. It was in the newspaper. The house, he apparently, and the mother is in a nursing home. He was busted on drugs. It was in the newspaper. Now the property is overgrown, and the tree is really growing from that property over to my sister's. Now I understand the township has paid to cut the grass, but this is going to cost thousands of dollars. I would like to cut that tree down and push it back over on their property, but I guess you can't do that. And
yeah, the most you could do, Frank, is if maybe a portion of it grows over your property.
A lot of it is. A lot.
Okay, so legally, legally you can trim back that portion that comes over into her airspace, because once it comes over your airspace, you own it. Legally, you're allowed to trim it back. Now, there's a lot involved with that, and how if we have to be on that property to access the tree, then we need permission to be on that property. If we can do it from your yard or your sister's yard, then we can just cut back as much as we can to that invisible property line.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a tough scenario you got going on over there for sure.
Here's the township is paying to cut the grass. Why shouldn't the township also pay to cut that tree?
Yeah, that's a fine line. I mean, that's
the guy's
not really
on drugs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the legalities of all that, but I don't think the township would exhaust their resources and have the cost associated with going out there and doing anything. I think you're lucky they're cutting the grass, to tell you the truth. I'd be happy with that. I've never really heard of it.
Well, like I said, the guy's worthless. I said he was busted on drugs. He did time in jail, and
we appreciate the call. Thank you, Frank. If you have any further questions, you can give them a call at Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Got to get down to our next call here in a moment. Got a break coming up as well, too. Look, this is very tricky when you're dealing with trees leaning one way or the other. But if you have a good partnership with your neighbors, you should have this dialogue over a cold beer when you're mowing the grass, as you notice some of this stuff starting to grow and starting to, impair each other's property. So a long line of communication is the best result for getting a lot of these things solved. And that's one of the things when I was growing up in my neighborhood, and I still have it today, knowing your neighbors long term can go a long way to help you, especially if you get into a problem. And I know he's got a different circumstance there, but I just thought I'd mention it because it's an ounce of prevention, is it not, Carlos?
Yes, a lot of how those scenarios go depend on your relationship with that neighbor. And I don't know, it seems to me like a lot of people don't get along with their neighbors like they used to. And a lot of times it's because of trees. You know, you don't have a tree in your yard, but guess what? You get all the leaves from your neighbor's tree, and they, fall and they blow over into your yard, and now you're spending hours raking up the leaves, and kind of leaves a bad taste in some people's mouths. But yeah, go talk to the neighbor. Say, hey, look, I like your tree because it does give my house some shade. But I'm the one stuck with all the work with all these leaves. Is there anything we can come up with? And get that line of communication for sure. It can only help. It definitely can't hurt. And then, if you want to trim some branches back that are encroaching your airspace, now you have a better platform to go talk to him and say, hey, Mike, you mind if I cut this branch? It's hanging over my gutter. And Mike's going to say, yeah, no problem. Just make sure you get it done by the right company that knows what they're doing, because then that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to improperly trim back your neighbor's tree and it dies, and now you're in a whole nother can of worms. So it could go from bad to worse really quick. Get the line of communication, do your research on the companies, go on the Better Business Bureau. That's the best platform if you're going to hire any contractor on your property for any type of service. Go look them up on the Better Business Bureau. They're the only reviews that are verified. Google, Yelp, a lot of people swear by those, but the Better Business Bureau reviews, they're gold. They look into the job, make sure it was executed, and it's not somebody just trying to pump up their rating. And it's the gold standard for hiring contractors.
All right, just know that Carlos cares at Greater Pitt Tree Service. We've got one more segment. Anybody else in the queue who wants to give us a call, you can do so right now. Any tree-related question, 866-391-1020. But today we're talking large tree removal and care and treatment. So if you have a question, you can call us at 866-391-1020. And if you just want to call right now and leave your information and have them come out and give you an appointment and let them see exactly what they can do to help you, call 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. One more segment today on KDKA.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, Betty on the north side. She'll be with us in just a moment. But Carlos, you guys are going to be pretty busy. You're going to be out and about, right?
Yeah, it's a great time of year. We do so many events and around Pittsburgh. We have St. Simon and Jude Church Festival coming up in Green Tree. That's a great event because a lot of our work is around the South Hills. We get to see people we've worked for, get a chance to meet some new customers that we're going to work for. And then we have the Oakmont Summer Street Sale, which is a huge event. We're the sponsor for that event. And we'll have our booth over there and our tent and talking and meeting with people. And then we do the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix up Shenley Park, an area I grew up in, Squirrel Hill, Greenfield. And we just see so many people we've worked for. It's great being out there in the community and having that visibility. And then in August, we do Bloomfield Little Italy Days. And, hey, if nothing else, you're going over there and you're eating good, that's for sure. But, again, we're out there in the community. We support all these local events. The money you're paying us to do the trees, we're reinvesting it into these communities. We're showing up at these events. We're out and sponsoring Little League baseball teams. And we just do so much. We do a lot over at Central Catholic, where my son is going to be a junior this year. We sponsorships for so many of the sports teams, and we're just very active. I just love Pittsburgh. I love being out there. I love the platform I have with the tree service. I love being on KDKA. That's just a second to none platform for a business to be on, and it's afforded me to be out there and meeting people. I hear you on with Rob, or I hear you with Marty. It's just great. I couldn't be happier.
All right, let's talk to Betty. We got a couple of calls here. Let's go to Betty on the north side, Greater Pitt Tree Service with Carlos. Hey, Betty.
Hello. Yeah, I have a huge red maple in my backyard.
Yeah, we could come on and look at that, Betty.
Okay.
Give us a call on 412.
Waiter. 412
884 8733.
412-884-8733.
Yeah, give us a call, Betty. We'll send someone out. We'll give you a great Pittsburgh local resident senior citizen discount. We'll get it taken care of for you.
Yeah, I'm 93 years old. All right, good enough. Thank you.
God bless you, Betty. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, love it.
I love it.
I love it.
That's the stuff I love.
I know. I hear that voice perk up. I get it. Me too. Here's Mary.
I'll be the one going out there because I want to meet Betty.
You will. Betty's good people. She listens to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Mary. Mary, go ahead. You're on KDK. What's going on today, Mary?
Hi. I have a big pine tree in my front yard, and I didn't know the best time of the year to get it pruned or trimmed. What's I don't want to do it in all this heat. I don't want to damage the tree. It's 70 years old.
Yeah, so pine trees, they're really not meant to be trimmed. They're meant to just be planted and grow. I don't know. I steer more people away from trimming pine trees than we do because all the green's usually out on the tips, and if you're trimming it back in from there, then you end up with what looks kind of sticky. Or maybe you want to remove, the whole branch. We can do that, but aesthetically
My problem is it's getting to the point where it's going to affect the light. The Duquesne Light would like me to do something with it. And I would rather get someone who knows what they're doing rather than just the college kids that they're going to hire. So
yeah, and we're certified to work near the energized lines. We have what's called EHAP certification, Electrical Hazard Awareness Program. So legally and safely, we're allowed to be near those energized lines. My saying, Mary, about pine trees when people call us out, I say, if you have to trim the pine, it's time to remove the pine because it's outgrown its area, and now you're hacking on it, and it just aesthetically, it's not going to look good. So might be time to get it out of there and maybe start over with something else, you know. That's
well, this tree is my parents planted it, and it has a lot of sentimental value to me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get the tree down, but on the other hand, I want to keep Duquesne Light happy too.
Yeah, well, if it's within 15 feet of the primaries or secondaries, the uninsulated energized lines, they're gonna trim it. I mean, sometimes they're minimalist and they're not really concerned with ending up with anything aesthetically pleasing. They have one
which is why I'm talking to you and trying to find out when is the best time to trim, because it has to be trimmed. After this spring, it's just grew and grew and grew with all that water.
Yep, I would stay away from doing it this time of year. It's kind of hot and dry out.
Right.
The pines are usually resilient. Anything that stays green year-round is usually pretty resilient. But we like to err on the side of caution and maybe wait into like mid-fall to do a job like that.
Okay, and then how late in the year can it be done? The last time it was trimmed, it was done on November 1st, and it didn't seem to affect the pine tree at all. It, even though it was so late in the year to be trimming it. But I agree, I don't want to do it during this hot weather. That would really stress this tree out.
Yeah, later the better. It sounds like you have a great attachment to the tree, and that's awesome. We hear that a lot. So the later you can wait into the fall, in through the winter and early spring, I think that would be the best time of the year for us to come out and do it.
Okay. How late in the winter can we go? I mean, like, is November too late or December? Or?
Not at all. Not at all. We can do it any time of the winter as long as I could get my trucks out on the road. The roads are clear. We can come out and do it any time between, let's call it, like Halloween and St. Patrick's Day is usually the rule.
Okay.
The job like that.
I didn't know you could do it. I didn't know if you could do it during the cold without hurting it.
Nope, not at all.
It's a native Pennsylvania pine, so it's for our climate. Okay, well, thank you. That's very helpful. I will get it done in the fall, and I can, I feel better not having to do it during the summer. Well, thanks for your help. Have a good week.
Give us a call and we'll get you pricing on it.
A lot of energy there in Mary, so you're going to have a tough time keeping up with her, Carlos. All right.
Yeah, I like Mary.
All right, give me 30 seconds. It's all yours before I wrap it up. Go ahead.
Listen, Greater Pitt Tree Service. The name says it all. We're Pittsburgh. I'm Pittsburgh. I've never had any other address than a Pittsburgh mailing address. I've done trees. It's all I've ever really done. My crew's great. We give back to the community. We're eating at the restaurant in your community. I usually buy the crew lunch every day. We're reinvesting back into Pittsburgh, and that's what keeps us going. And, sometimes people are like, well, you might be a little higher, but look, your money's going back into the community. We're supporting the local businesses in your area. We're just invested in Pittsburgh, and we're going to be around a long time. We're set up with Troy. He's our young hired gun, ISA certified arborist, and we're here for the long haul.
Carlos, hey, enjoy. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, and thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, there he goes. Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. We just roll on. News at 10 with Rob, latest on that flooding in Texas, and we'll be back with more, including Accurate Solutions and the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show on KDKA, 100.1 FM, AM 1020. And again, if you don't have the Odyssey app, get it, download it. It's a free app, AUDACY.
The proceeding was paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard in the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Joining us from New York, CBS's Dave Rosenbaum. And a lot of people assuming Combs would get convicted of something more serious.
Did not find that he was guilty of RICO charges, but did find that he was guilty of the Mann Act, which is anytime you're funding prostitution across state lines.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas. The perfect place for mom.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRAFFIC25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code TRAFFIC25.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.